Yeah, we are live. Welcome to PPG Adventure show number 27.
Hello, hello.
Just trying to make sure things. Whoop. I just have to make sure to kill the audio when things starts here. Until I get it started on my side, I can't tell if it's live or not. Y'all can see it better than I can from your side.
Okay, I'll check.
Yep, we're up.
We're up. Okay.
Let me pull it up over here and then mute it so I can see
After
whenever
the,
they talk to us.
Setting up my pop-up chat window here.
I have the pop-up chat window the redneck way. I set my phone here in front of the computer. There's too many other controls on this screen to do that. And I learned to do it while I was on the road running the show. It's like, it works just as well, if not better. I have less headaches this way. So how do you guys do for Christmas?
There. I got it all loaded up.
It was a very strange Christmas this year. You know, we usually go house to house, all the relatives and everything else baloney. Just this year, it's dropped off presents for the grandkids, and that's about it. End up getting
Right.
You know,
We had so much left over. We still cooked a full Christmas dinner, but nobody there to eat it. It was weird.
We did that. We did the Christmas dinner. We ended up having like pizza or Chinese or something Christmas Eve, which we kind of do anyway.
Chinese for Christmas dinner?
Yeah, Christmas Eve.
Well, you know, you got that you Shoot Your Eye Out kid movie. They had Chinese.
Big, humongous ham for Christmas dinner. I'm still eating it.
We had ham and turkey. Yep.
There's something sacrilegious about having Chinese for Christmas.
Was it in Japan? They eat Kentucky Fried Chicken for Christmas. That's their traditional meal.
Well,
Really?
New Year's Eve, we do massive Chinese dinner and a freaking big sushi
Hey, Casper.
platter.
You guys see what Santa Claus brought me right here? I'm wearing them.
Sunglasses.
Not just any sunglasses. These are colorblind glasses.
What?
Those ones that supposed to help you see colors.
Okay, well, clue us in this technology. Does it work?
Well, I can see colors differently, but I took an online colorblind test and I still failed it. So take that as a I mean,
so it partially works.
Yeah, I can tell some colors apart in real life now when I'm wearing them. It's different. I don't know. I'm on the fence yet. I gotta wait. They're more outdoor glasses, so I'm gonna wait till I get a nice weather and go outside and check it out.
I mean, how much different does things look with it?
Quite a bit different. Quite a bit. They give me a headache after I wear them about 10 minutes though.
You red green or
Yeah, red green.
but
I could tell I could tell the balloons apart that they sent with the glasses that you blow up and throw around. They had a big deal for me. But I didn't cry and bawl like the other people on the videos do. It is interesting though. It's different.
Oh, those things are like ridiculously expensive, aren't they?
Yes. I think these were the cheapest ones they make. They're still over $200.
200?
Mm-hmm. That was on sale.
I always thought they were like $2,000 or $3,000.
No, they average around $400 or $500, I think.
That's not bad then.
Will they shift the spectrum a little bit?
Apparently, they have some sort of filters built into the lens that blocks half of the red and half of the green light, right in the middle, so that my brain is able to tell the two apart better. Does that make sense? Because normally they're fused together so far I can't tell which is which, but it cuts like that in half, so I have two different ones I can see.
Oh, it just cuts maybe enough of the wavelength that you could see it.
Right, so my brain can tell it apart. Yep. Otherwise, my brain just mashes them together.
My tie-dye
Yeah.
must look mostly black.
It's quite colorful. Hmm.
So you can tell what color your bird is now.
That was one of the tests the kids gave me. I don't even know where she went. She's probably terrorizing the other bird somewhere.
You let it loose in the house?
I'm sure her cage is next to the computer. She comes and goes. She's inside of it eating right now.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't for you to leave it like run around.
Kind of. At night we put her up though. During the day we let her out.
Hey, look who's coming on with us. Someone's been disappeared for a while.
Wow.
Oh wow, crazy Uncle Bob.
A
He's still
stranger.
alive.
Yeah, speaking
Well,
of the
he-
track.
It's
Speaking
that
of the
all that
track, I got
time
my
in
motor
his
today.
all that time in his red sleigh with the reindeer.
Yeah, someone's got to do it.
Was that Bob on the going the rounds with the Santa Claus and the power lines?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, I thought it might have been you at first.
Seems I took out half of Mexico. Like, oops.
When I seen a trike heading for trees, I was thinking of John at first. I'm thinking, oh God, don't tell me they're up there and prop buster
Wasn't
done
me.
got another tree.
No, I disassembled my trike for the winter. It's in pieces.
It was a PPC,
Why are you gonna
wasn't it?
fly it like that, man?
It's too cold, man. I can't even go check the mail. It's so cold here. Ain't no way I'm going up there 30,000 feet.
It's a cold. They don't deliver the mail there, do they?
Not every day, you know. I went to check my mail 2 days ago and I opened up the mailbox and it was packed completely full of snow. And I was like, well, they're not going to have a hard time putting a mail in there. So I had to
Now,
clean
how
my
is it
snow
you
box up.
open the mailbox, it's packed full of snow? Is there a hole in the back side of it or what?
I suppose the little bolt holes, we had a windstorm and a little bit of a blizzard and it just eventually filled it up in there.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I could
I-
not
I was-
possibly live in that part of the country.
I wasn't expecting to see it full of snow and open the lid. I was like, what in the world?
I would die in that part of the country. I come back from being in Florida and Georgia and down south for 2 weeks, and I come back to snow. It was weird. It was the first day I saw it was 52 degrees, and then it dropped and it snowed,
Mm-hmm.
and everything
Yeah.
turned white.
Yeah, my first winter with my trike, I was all excited. I built skis for it. I'm gonna be flying all winter. Yeah, that didn't last. No, it's dang cold, especially with a fan on your back sucking that super cold air across your body.
Yep.
What I need to design is some way to stay warm while I fly. Then I'll be rich.
A snowmobile suit that's flexible enough to fly in.
I was thinking of that, or one of those ice fishing suits, those floating ones. Those would be probably warm. I think they call them ice armors or whatever.
Survival suit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be ice fishing unless I had a nice warm hut.
Oh man, some of the people now, you should see those ice houses. They're like a travel trailer, and they pull it out on the ice, and they press a button, and the wheels retract, and it sets down on the ground, and then it's just like a camper inside. It's got stove, and beds, and everything. You can stay out there for a week or two at a time if you want to.
Mine would have
Crazy.
internet and Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Some of them. It's almost like cheating. They're so nice.
That's
see
pretty
here.
bad. If you're going out to go ice fishing, you want internet.
Oh yeah.
What do
Without
you
a
want
doubt.
next? You want the fish to just jump up in the hut with you, say hi, and then fall over dead?
Get a
need a
little
new
robot
friend.
arm to manipulate the lines while you're playing a video game or something, you know?
What am I gonna do with you guys?
Can't take us nowhere.
Yeah, I know.
But you just drop a cherry bomb down the hole and scoop them with a net.
Hell yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Works for me.
Why fish hard? Fish smart.
That's right.
All right, I'm going to show you guys something real fast, if you don't mind.
Go
Okay.
right ahead.
All right, you see it now? I'll leave the sound off, but this is what the ice houses look like, the modern ones.
Looks like a damn travel trailer.
There's your internet hook or your cable hookup. You should be going inside. I fast forwarded it a little bit.
Where the hell you hook the cable up out on the ice?
Or for your satellite dish or whatever.
Oh my God.
Wow.
What the?
Well, where's the fishing hole?
If you look at the floor, you'll see little black things. That's where you put the holes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can lay in bed and fish if you want while you're camping. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, fish pole holder. Huh?
That is just off the hook, literally.
Stereo in there, beer fridge. Got the
You
works.
need that.
Yeah,
Well, that's what fishing is, really. It's all about holding a beer.
Right. These are set up so that you can use them as like an RV in the summertime, so they're not like a one season use.
Oh, they have wheels under them.
The wheels, when you get on the ice, you just push a button and the wheels retract and it just sets down on the ice.
Oh, nice.
They make versions of these with toy haulers too built in. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
That could be useful.
Yeah, imagine at the flying, you just set your wheels down. You wouldn't have to worry about it rocking around in the wind or anything.
Yeah, guys couldn't get under your trailer, you know,
There's
play
a thought.
didgeridoos and do weird stuff like Sean does.
Right. But you guys get the idea. They're not. I don't own one, but they're pretty cool. They cost
I expect Nick will be owning one pretty soon.
They cost way more monies than I'm willing to spend for ice fishing.
Hey Bob, I just got a new camper. I don't need to get one of those.
No, all you got to do is put the holes in the floor and invest in the retractable wheels.
I just get a camper skirt and then just put some sonotubes through the floor.
There you go. My father-in-law used to have an old Chevy truck. He just had holes cut in the floorboard that he'd drive out there and fish through.
Sure, why not?
The original ice castle, I guess.
So when are you going to teach that bird to say quark?
She says pretty bird and wolf whistles already when she feels like it.
Quark. Quark, quark.
Quit. You're showing your butt to the world. There.
He's going to have that bird doing all kinds of weird things after a while.
How do you keep the bird from shitting all over the house?
She stays right here in this area. We have padding on the floors.
That'll work.
But she's only out during the day when I'm home, and I lock her up.
Oh, she's just not running everywhere.
Yeah. We keep like puppy pads on the floor around her cage just in case. Oh, you little bitch, that hurt. Sorry.
She bites you.
She's chewing on my hand right now.
Yep.
They get upset when you tell them what to do. She likes to be the boss.
Well, don't they always?
I
know most of the birds, you can't even hold them. Like, if you grab a hold of them, they just start biting you in.
Yeah.
Like that one.
She doesn't bite me hard, though. Just nibbles.
That's what they all say. It don't bite hard. You stick your finger in it, pull a stub back. I have seen that happen.
Suppose if they can crack a nutshell, they can take a good chunk out of your finger pretty easy.
Oh, yeah. I suppose, but you got to behave if you're going to get up there.
When I had that military macaw, that thing would bite you, break bones.
Don't.
Not good.
Well, if you didn't make it mad, you're okay. If you made it mad, it was going to bite you.
Thanks, want your brand new shades.
Yeah, she sees her reflection. Mm-hmm.
Issue with my router here tonight.
You don't want the hat? Damn it. Okay.
There we go.
The emotional support parakeet.
Yep. That's what she is. She doesn't even belong to me. She's my daughter's, and I ended up with it somehow.
How does that work?
It's
Well, it
called
always work
being
with
a
pets.
dad.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging off the hat and chewing on the shades. Wow.
Yep. Yeah, she's part monkey.
Mhm.
You guys hush now.
How many birds you get in there?
2. I have a white one too, but he's pretty shy. He doesn't come up. He doesn't go up his cage very often. That's the one you hear whistling in the background, though. He can talk if he wants.
One likes to talk, one likes to just make a bunch of racket. And
Mm-hmm. I can make him wolf whistle.
You gotta
Nope.
paint your bird blue so it doesn't disappear in the green screen.
There you go.
what kind of paint would adhere to a bird?
Quit. You're being bad. You're gonna make yourself famous for being bad.
Now, what you need to do is get a harness for your bird, put her on the trike one day, and take it for a flight.
Yeah, she's real young and what do you call it? Rambunctious. This one. It's only a
Last thing
few-
you want is your bird going through the prop.
right?
That's why you got to harness it up so you don't have a loss of bird. That's why your hats are always fuzzy on the front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Try playing a video game when you got a bird hanging in front of your face.
Is that why you always lose at Call of Duty?
Yep. Quit. Get. That's enough now. You're being a pest. Go over there.
Have you play with a new Microsoft Flight Simulator yet?
I haven't got it yet.
Oh, you got to try it.
I'm waiting to get a new GPU, but you can't buy GPUs right now.
Oh, you
They-
can.
They launched a bunch of them, but you can't afford to get them. The ones that are available are triple their retail price.
Well, you know why that is.
Scalpers.
Mm-hmm.
I just bought my son a Logitech, what used to be Cytec, but Logitech yoke and rudder pedal system.
Oh, cool. Hey,
How is
Bob,
it?
you probably got some GPUs laying around. Just mail me one. Oh, wait, your software. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, I haven't done software in like 3
Right.
decades now.
Right.
No, I haven't had a computer for like what, 12 years now? Yeah, 12 years.
Really?
Really?
Why?
He drives
What's
for a
the whole-
living.
Dude, I'm either driving or sleeping, or sometimes I'm doing this. When am I going to play with a computer?
Man, don't get one, Bob. Do not get one.
I know a guy
they
that's
suck your life away. Pretty soon you have no time left.
I know a guy that drives truck. I met him at quite a few fly-ins. Like we used his flatbed as a aircraft carrier for paramotors, but he has a full gaming system with twin monitors in his truck. He removed the passenger seat of the truck and built a rack in there and has a full flight sim set up and editing studio right in his truck.
Oh, there you go.
That works.
Wish I could do that, but I don't own the truck, so they won't let me.
It's easier to get forgiveness than permission, Bob.
Yeah, I don't think he owns his either, judging by the company logos on the side of it.
I suppose if your guy was careful how he set it up, he could put it back to factory pretty easy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you take the seat out, put it at home, and then when they give you a new truck, you put the seat back in.
Mm-hmm.
No, if I did that, I'd take the seat out and leave it at the shop.
Yep. But then they know you did it.
Then when you bring the truck back to them and they can't find the seat because someone else stole the seat to put it in their truck when it all wore out.
Yeah.
Well, that's not my problem. That's their problem.
Crazy Uncle Bob has this weird problem with telling the truth.
Yeah.
It's his one weakness.
Yeah, when you work for a trucking company, that's the first thing you learn not to do.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you drive
Bob,
for
you own
Swift.
the tractor, or you just get what they give you?
Company driver. They assign me the truck, and it's mine until they decide to take me out of it.
Or until you wear it out, and then they have to give you another one.
Yeah.
Any word on when you're going to get some training, Bob? Or have you thought about it much?
Well, it was going to be in May, but things have changed. Other problems have cropped up, and I need that money for other stuff.
That's what happens. Life happens while you're making other plans.
Yep.
Yep. Well, you're just going to have to go visit Nick for a couple of weeks and just have him train you up.
Well, I'll be fully set up for instruction here soon.
Cool.
And had to get John to come back down here and put him through a retraining on how to take off without sitting in the seat or getting knocked off his feet.
Let me use your nicest machine when I come down.
I'll let you use the air conception.
I still wish I had that damn one from school there. I know I could have made it new again.
Which one?
That Nirvana.
The Nirvana Rodeo.
I still dream
Instinct.
about that damn thing.
You dream about crashing on it.
It's probably long gone by now. It wouldn't
bet
bother
you
me
still
if
got
I
it.
crashed it if it was mine. I don't see myself coming up with that kind of money anytime soon, though. Not unless I win the lottery or President Trump gives me a $6,000 bonus or something.
If I got a bonus like that, I know where we'd go.
Oh
Go
man,
to Bills.
they might give me some money pretty soon through work though. Maybe I could write it off as an expense.
If we just knew someone in Congress, when they write these bills, we could have them put, a couple $1 million in so every paramotor pilot could have a new wing and motor.
Oh, I forget the lady's name. The guy that owns Amazon, Bezos.
Mm-hmm.
His ex-wife donated $8 million to my college last week.
That's a tax write-off to them.
Yeah, she gave away like $4 billion to all, like people all around the United States, but my college got $8 million of it.
Good Lord.
If you can give me $1 billion, I wouldn't mind.
I don't know what they're going to do with it yet. They just got it. They weren't expecting it. They're like, we're going to have some meetings later and we'll decide what to do with all this money. I bet you they'll build like a new building or something.
They'll do something like totally stupid that they don't need to do.
Imagine having the kind of money you can give away, $8 billion, and and it's just a write-off.
Yeah, well, she got like $36 billion in their divorce settlement.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why she had to give away that much. That's the inheritance tax, or she just got out of paying.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, her lawyer's like, well, you got to give away this much money to keep from paying this much in taxes.
Yep, you give away $4 billion, and it's going to save you 12 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, okay.
An entirely different class of people talking billions of dollars, and we're talking like hundreds of dollars is a big deal.
Yeah, well, I feel rich when I'm 100 air.
That makes two of us.
We won the lottery a couple weeks ago. Whole $10. That was a good thing.
I spent $102 today on my own money. I'm so proud. I bought a
Well
brand new welding helmet, a TIG rated welding helmet.
Oh, you needed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's even got the fancy brightness adjuster right on the side of it, so you can just adjust it while you're welding. It's pretty cool. I wasn't planning
Oh,
on
it's
it,
a
but
live one.
they had the sale. We're at. I don't know if they have Praxair where you guys are at.
Yeah.
We're at the Praxair store getting electrodes and filler rods and stuff, and my buddy's like, "Are you going to go to Harbor Freight and look at the welding helmets?" And the Praxair guy looked at me and says, "We have one on sale right now." And I went and looked at it, like, "Yeah, I'll take that."
What brand is it?
I didn't even look. It was one of their upper end ones though, but it was like a huge sale. Apparently, it's like a $300 helmet that they had it on sale for $90 plus tax.
You gotta love Harbor
Oh.
Freight. You can get some really good stuff cheap there.
Oh yeah, I hit Harbor Freight up. Like I just bought a new generator from there 2 weeks ago.
We went and
I
bought a
bought-
welding cart there today.
A welding cart.
Yeah, for our new TIG welder. It's the one that has the drawers in the front to hold all your consumables and stuff.
Okay, yeah, so you can put everything in there and not be spilling them everywhere, getting them dirty.
Or looking all over your garage for a gas lens or something. I'm going to learn how to TIG weld, I'm telling you guys. Mark my words, I'll be fixing your guys' paramotors before long.
I bet you I learned how to TIG weld titanium before you.
You probably will, because I don't plan on learning right now. I don't have any titanium to even practice on.
Oh, I've got tons of tubing here.
Be careful. It's probably buy you a new paramotor if you just scrapped it.
Well, I happen to have a friend that works at TimeMet, so getting a hold of that stuff's easy.
For you. Like for the rest of us little people, forget it. It ain't gonna happen.
Oh, it's not as much as I thought. Right now, it's going for $6 a pound for scrap.
That's all titanium's going for?
Yeah, I thought it would be way more.
Yeah, I thought it would be too. God, it's low. Not worth scrapping it. I know what it goes for to buy it.
Oh wait, no, that was 2011. Okay, hold on. I got to go to a different website.
Yeah, I gotta upgrade my kit. I used to have some good stuff. All I got left is my MAP gas oxygen welding kit.
Oh, on the old Benzomatics,
Yeah, probably.
little tiny bottles on it.
Let's get the full size. I used to have this little tiny guy that was about this big. I got back in the 70s from Radio Shack. It had a little what do they call it?
Microx had the two cylinders.
Micronox, yeah. But now I got my full size, the was it 16 ounce, the tall ones, tall skinny ones.
Yeah, they're just like regular propane cylinders, but one's oxygen, one's MAP gas.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I can do up to 1/4 inch steel with that thing, no problem. Not gonna be doing much more than that. Aluminum is
shit. Titanium's not worth anything right now. My God, the price fell out. It's worth 35 cents a pound right now. We should be buying paramotors right now.
Yeah, you go to buy the tubing. Look what it cost.
Yeah. Wow, I wonder why it's so low.
Trick of titanium, you have to have it shielded very well, because if you get any oxygen in there at all, it sparks and it oxidizes and it makes a mess.
Yeah, you have to run post-flow gas like big time with that.
Wow, either these people are really cheap on their prices.
I'd almost bet. It's just, I'm going to be in the market for another machine here soon.
When was the last time you flew, Nick?
4 days ago.
Nice.
Yeah, probably in the warmer of the states.
Waiting for
I
spring.
I,
When
I
is bad?
flew
When is
actually
bad
flew
apples?
that Pilot Mountain everybody talks about, or Titty Mountain as they call it. I went and flew that on the way back from North Carolina.
Okay. Does anybody know when bad apples is coming?
It's in May, if I remember right.
May. So that's like the first flying of the year, right?
That's where I came from. I was there last week at the field.
Was it
Keith and
really
I went up there
East
and flew.
Coast flying or mid East Coast?
Well, there's one in
That
California.
KBVI? Is that
No.
KBVI?
No, KBVI, that's Beaver. That's up here. I haven't even released the videos from the ones I did last. I haven't released any videos for the past 2 months of the flying because I'm still editing them.
Somebody needs to post a centralized website that with just a big calendar on it that shows all the fly-ins and where they're at and when they are. So
They
when
do.
we're planning our who has
And
it?
you're a member.
I remember.
No, you're a member of the group.
Oh, you mean let me look.
USPPA.
I still never got my certification yet though. I gotta work on that. I am a member though.
What's the fly-in they have every year down in Pennsylvania?
The hillbilly flying.
Oh, come on.
That's the closest one to my area.
I got the card. See, card carry member.
Cool. How much does that cost?
It's not much.
$18, I think.
Yeah, you get the membership, and I guess it'd be a good idea to go ahead and get it before you go to school, and then when you go to school, your instructor can certify you for your PPG 1, 2, and stuff, 3, whatever. I took the
Cool.
PPG 1, but I didn't do the paperwork right or something, so it doesn't show it on my membership. I need to get it straightened out. I just never did.
Damn.
But I am a member.
Looking at the calendar now, so it should have it on there.
Probably as long as I waited, I'll probably have to retake the test again. Wasn't too bad of a test though.
Where's the calendar out here?
It's funny. Somebody on one of the shows one day was reading off all the questions. They had a little thing on the show, and it's like everybody would answer the questions live on the show. And actually, it was straight from the test, from the written test, and I got enough answered that without even taking any of the stuff I would have passed. So
Yeah, it's not bad. It's mostly common sense questions. There's a few technical ones, but not very many. You see, they finally caught the jet man on video out in the West Coast there.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, a pilot finally got a video of him from the airplane. They still don't know who he is yet, though. Been flying around all the airports out in California with a jetpack.
Well, come on, it can't be that hard to find them. How many people have a freaking jetpack?
He must have a really good one as high up as he was. He was above the clouds when they took that picture. I don't know, unless it's a homemade one.
got to be most of those, especially the old schools. They only gave you like 40 seconds of flight.
Right. This guy, he's, I don't know how many thousand feet up, but he's way up there.
The Rocketeer on the loose over there.
Right.
One of my favorite movies when I was a kid. Love that thing. I so wanted one of those rocket packs for when I was a kid.
Well, these are what they're playing with now is actually their 4 to 6 model jet turbines. So they're they can stay in the air a long time.
What's a long time? Like 5 minutes?
Oh no, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
At a point where you're getting diminishing returns, you got to carry so much fuel, you need bigger engines, and you need bigger fuel to carry the bigger engines and so on.
Here you go, John. 13th through the 16th of May.
And that's where?
Bad apples. That's in Georgia.
Hopefully it's not anywhere near Atlanta.
Nah. It's in, what do they call that out there? I can't remember it now. Americus, Georgia is the area.
Oh, cool. That's pretty close to the Alabama line.
I guess he wasn't as high up as I thought he was.
You got the video? Share
I'm
it.
sharing it right now.
Very good.
You see it?
Yeah. Play it.
Okay. Caught on camera though.
Yep.
Still high enough though.
Pack doesn't look very big either.
Mm-mm.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, that's some crazy stuff, huh?
That's pretty cool.
Someone happens to send me one. I guarantee I'll fly it around here somewhere.
Yep.
He was at 3,000 feet roughly.
Hashtag fly all the things.
I'll fly anything. I don't care what it is. If it
See,
can fly.
that's what Robert's doing out there. Instead of buying a Paramotor, he built himself a jetpack.
Hell, I want to put a jet engine on a paramotor.
Well, that's been done. I've seen a couple of those.
Yeah, but I want to put a really large, like turbofan style engine on there.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
My
I
problem
see you
is,
trying to put a GE9X on it.
nah, it's a little too big. Though I do own a CFM.
What, a 56?
Yep. On a test stand. I've actually run it once.
Oh my God. The comments on that video are just insane. The Mandalorians are coming, somebody wrote.
The pack's not much bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seriously looking the past like week and a half since this last incident with the paramotor. Like, I need to get a new motor, a new frame, trying to figure out what to get that's A, light, and B, doesn't have problems.
That'd be a Nirvana.
They're not light.
And they have a lot of problems.
Yeah, they got more problems than I can shake a stick at.
That sounds like my kind of machine right there.
You can see Nick
I don't
making a
mind-
turboprop out of an APU or something.
I don't have a lot of experience with different machines, but man, that thing was comfortable when I put it on my back.
I will
my
say they're
Lord.
comfortable. I'd love to fly one day. But I'll be terrified the whole time I'm flying it because you make one mistake on landing and
You're done.
they're all carbon fiber. The whole thing just explodes off your back.
Wow.
That's the one thing. I love Scouts, but I don't think I'd ever get one. At least not as my first, because
You
know,
could buy
they're
2
not
Scouts for the
accident-proof.
price of that one Nirvana, though.
Well, plus you get a little bit of damage and you're screwed.
I can tell you, after trying Tucker Scout on up at the PA event here this summer, I don't want to fly one. The
Really?
thing was heavy, and the angle you have to lean back with my back is very uncomfortable. Like to run and lean back and try to run like that, I can't do it.
The newer ones apparently have this like variable geometry set built into the thing or something. I'm not sure how it works exactly, but I'm not sure which one Tucker has currently. He seems to get the latest and greatest every time, but
Yeah, he's sponsored by Team Fly Halo. He gets like a new one every year, I think.
Well, he wears one out every year too. I think you get to wear some
Mhm.
motors down so quick that.
the best gig he had was the sponsored trip to Iceland. Actually, twice, wasn't it?
Honestly, they're pretty cool. Those guys. They actually invited me on that trip, and I'm nobody. The Miroslav, the guy that runs Scout, he emailed me personally and asked me if I wanted to come. Said all I had to do was pay for my own ticket. Everything else would be covered. He said. And
Damn.
I told him, no, man, wait till I'm a little bit better at flying, then we'll talk. I said,
You can see John stuck up in the glacier, but he kind of.
right, yeah. I think he might have thought I was a little more experienced than I was. Because I always talk to them guys. I've been
If you
chatting back
only
and forth
knew
with them for
your,
years.
if you only knew your record with trees.
I was honest with him. I told him
Maybe that's why he wanted
I'm
you
not
to, though.
ready. I told him I'm not ready.
He might have known your record, and he just wanted to, make a new record of glaciers.
Well, it'd be good content having a paramotor rescue.
Yeah. Why not?
Now you're starting to sound like Kyle. Is this good content?
Well, usually when he's shit faced.
Oh, trust me, I was there for the him getting drunk with the Nebraska voice.
Oh, I saw the video. That was a hoot.
Oh, you didn't see half of it. The video he released, I looked at that. I'm like, oh my God, you like trimmed it down. You got rid of all the really good stuff.
Hey, Kyle's got to set up a private YouTube channel for all the stuff you can't really show on the main channel because you get all of his funding cut off.
Oh, he doesn't care about that. He's got a job.
Every penny counts.
Yep.
I'm actually surprised I actually have anybody subscribed to my channel, and all I do is repost other people's videos, and I have, like 100 people subscribed to my channel.
We love you, buddy. We love you.
Yep, that we do.
Were you reposting any of my good videos yet?
Oh, probably. It's basically I have a lot of my, you save a video to a playlist, and I published playlists, and I have a Paramotor playlist, and I got cell phone repair playlists and a bunch of other stuff.
There it is, Bob.
Pretty.
Nirvana.
What's the price tag on that?
This particular one was half price of a new one, which is still more than most new paramotors. These things are like 12 or 14, I think, new.
Yeah, around 14.
That's more than I paid for my car.
That particular one that I showed you the picture of doesn't run. But I know I could get it running in about 15 minutes. But I wasn't about to do it for the guy because he had jacked the price up on me. It sat too long. It just gummed up and everything. It just needs a good cleaning and servicing. That's all it really needs. It's even comes with heated gloves even, Bob.
Unless it has electronic problems in it, and then you're going to be going, oh shit.
I'm not scared of electronics. I can fix them. But this thing even has a port on the side, and it comes with heated gloves and stuff that plug it right into the paramotor, Bob. Has an intercom system that plugs into it. Everything. It's all built in, and it breaks down and goes into like a suitcase, a rolling suitcase.
Cool.
That was the nicest thing about that when it comes out the big hard case.
Don't like about the Parajets. They come with the whole thing stuffed into a nice carry sack, and everything fits in there for travel.
That's how this one is.
Built that into my passenger seat.
Yeah, but that Nirvana goes down smaller than the Parajet does. A lot smaller.
We were at training, and they were showing us the different paramotors and stuff, and I said, "What's that box over there?" He goes, "Oh, that's a special one," and we pulled it out and put it all together, and they let us try it on and stuff. Man, is it nice?
It's comfortable.
It felt like it was hugging me, and it was whispering my name as I was carrying it. It was something else. John, try to break this prop. See how much this costs if you break it.
Yep.
I would cry.
With those, you have to go back to Nirvana to get everything.
Yes, that's a custom Nirvana prop, even.
And with our current Nirvana situation in the U.S.,
what is that?
I don't know who's going. Well, from what I hear, the last dealer that was over here was the importer dropped them, so I don't know who's going to bring them in now.
Are they dropping them because they're so expensive, or are they hard to deal with?
I think most places drop them because they're hard to deal with.
Yeah, I mean they're like a
From what I
Lamborghini and a
understand, a
Paramotor.
lot
though.
of them. Yeah, but because they're so high end and
They're
big
too
in
high
Europe,
end.
yeah, I don't think they really care about supporting the dealers. Maybe might be the problem.
I don't know. I'm gonna Google them.
I mean, look what
Nirvana Paramotor. Gotta add that, or else I get rock bands. USA. Okay. There's a couple. Paradrenalin supposedly deals with them. And Austin Paramotor.
I think Austin Paramotor is the one that actually dropped them, if I'm right.
Oh, really?
I remember a post on Facebook here a few months back about one of the dealers was selling off all the Nirvana stuff because they were going to get rid of that line.
$14,700 for the Instinct.
Ooh.
Damn.
Wow, you could probably get a decent Blackhawk and 2 wings for that.
Wait, let me go back to that site and see how much a new set of props are. I wonder if they even sell props on here. Okay, that's the Instinct. Where's the parts at, man?
It's like I almost want to go to Viserati Motor just so because everybody has them and the parts are available.
Glad if they ever get rid of the crack exhaust problem.
Well, supposedly the MY20, that new double jointed exhaust, got rid of that.
I've seen a few still, even that with that.
Yeah, it's my thing. It's like, where's it at?
But Tucker even had a custom exhaust made. Nope, cracked.
Oh my God.
About $800 or more.
Yeah. $806.70 for a new set of props. My goodness.
Yeah, that's a bit steep.
New exhaust, $1,048.
For an exhaust?
Mm-hmm.
How?
You buy the
The hell's this
Nirvana,
thing made out
pay
of?
the Nirvana
Platinum?
prices. Aluminum, I think, or stainless.
What else we got that's outrageous? The battery for it's $180.
Everything for that Nirvana is like.
Well, when I
gold
get
bricks.
rich. See, that's the thing though. That one there is a used one that needs work. If I had the money to fix it up, I'd have the money to buy a new one in the first place. You're right. Yeah, it should be like an exotic car. When it's used and sold, it's not worth anything. Because if you got the money, you're going to buy it new. Like a used Cadillac aren't worth nothing. Because people who buy new Cadillacs don't want a used Cadillac.
Why would you buy a used Cadillac?
Exactly. That's why you see mechanics driving Cadillacs so much in big cars, because they're super cheap and they're really nice cars.
Well, they used to be.
Yeah, I mean older ones.
Yeah, nowadays Cadillac's just a rebadged GM car with a little bit better interior in it. You pay 3 times as much.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you buy, like my buddy had that SXV or something, some specialized unit.
Yeah, that really fast thing. I forget what they make, but yeah.
I just found out here on Wednesday he passed away.
Who?
Buddy of mine, Les Montoya, has the Cadillac, and he's got the newer Vet.
I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that.
74 years old. The COVID got him.
I forgot I was wearing these things. Oh my Lord.
They're gonna go back to black and white.
Well, not quite that bad, but close.
And my grandfather was red green. colorblind, and he was actually a radio man in the Navy back in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of, I'm not sure how he pulled it off, because reading the color codes and the wires and everything, but he pulled it off.
Yeah, I cheated my way into the military too.
You paid them off?
No. When you first join, they pretty much strip you down to your boxer shorts, and they make you go around like a little lab rat at all these different medical stations. I was in this one line, and I looked ahead, and I saw they were giving the colorblind test with all the dots. I knew exactly what that was. When nobody was looking, I just took a step to the right and got in a different line. At the end of the day, the guy was going through all my papers, like, "Oh shoot, you're missing your Izihara test." And I played dumb. I said, "Is that the one with all the dots?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I think I missed 2 of those." And he said, "Okay." And he wrote it in. 12 years later, I retired.
There
Never
you
got
go.
caught.
Which branch?
Army.
Ground
Yeah.
pounder.
You know it.
Well, someone's got to do it.
I was just talking to one of my older brothers at Christmas and told him I fly paramotors and stuff. And he's like, "Man, I've always wanted to do that. I hear there's a place in Ohio where you can get trained."
Oh, God.
I said, "That's pretty much what I said. Do not go there if it's who I think it is." I said, "You're in Michigan. There's one of the best schools in the United States right there. You should try, maybe look into that one." I told him.
Yep.
He said, "I was in the Navy for years and years, Air Force or aviation." He said, "I loved flying." He said, "But we were mostly over the ocean. It was boring." He said, "I always wanted to try paramotoring." He said, "I even had my parachute on once, but we got the engine started over Bermuda and we were able to make a landing." He said, "I don't know what kind of flight he was doing when he lost his engines over the ocean, but
Crazy.
aviation electronics he was in."
As far as the military thing goes, I'll say this much. I got all kinds of respect for infantry. The mud puppies, I do not have that kind of balls. I don't mind zooming across the enemy lines at Mach 1.2. They're not going to shoot me.
Okay, I'm going to show you something, Bob. You want to learn about the different types of the military? There it is right there.
Okay. I like the way this sucks. I wish it would suck more. Aviation sure sucks down there. What? Cable's out. This sucks.
That's about the
Yeah,
truth
that's
of it,
me.
too.
Right there. Sure sucks down there.
Yep.
Like I said, I got a lot of respect for those puppies because not me. I ain't going there.
Mm-hmm. I remember that poster used to be on the wall in our barracks for years and years.
Yeah, you guys are always making fun of the other branches, probably.
Oh, yeah. Especially, everybody makes fun of the Air Force.
Hey,
We're
they
just-
actually do something.
Air
Though.
Force.
We were just jealous of the Air Force, that's all. But
Yeah, they get to fly over and drop bombs on people. Though these days, they sit over here in the U.S. in a sea lane container and fly drones over and shoot missiles down people's chimneys or through their front door.
Yep.
remember those old World War II posters like loose lips sink ships and stuff like that? You know,
Oh, yeah.
we had one also. Let me see here.
With a
See if I
picture
can
of
find-
Monica Lewinsky.
This was the one we had for instead of loose lips. Yeah.
I like it.
Yep. Good times. Good times. Modern days, we got to put our funny twist on everything. Got the
And
point
Chuck
across,
Johnson
though.
in the chat says Air Force has the best food.
They do.
Yeah.
I will not argue with him on that.
Although I've seen some Navy chow's pretty good.
I've never had Navy
Submarine,
chow.
submarines.
Oh, I have had some Navy chow. It was okay, but it was nothing like the Air Force's. And the Air Force has the best barracks too, and they take
Oh,
the
yeah.
best care of their people.
Well, the amount of training we have to go through, there's a lot of investment.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of investment.
They say it costs all kinds of money to train you. That's one of their things they tell you all the time.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well, average Air Force avionics tech has the equivalent of almost a college degree in electronics.
right. Yes. My brother was aviation electronics in the Navy, but he did pretty well. Now he works in the business. He works for a school though, a couple of schools. Handles all their, and a hospital. Does their telemedicine.
Cool.
That's one thing about anything in avionics. You got a set career when you get out.
Mm-hmm. He even worked on the Blackbird, my brother, before they took it out of service.
Cool.
I just like to see the damn thing in person.
He said he
You
was
never
in
seen one?
He said he was in Grenada, and during a firefight, he was hiding behind the wheels of it.
I've never seen one in person. I've seen one from a distance, but never seen one close up in person anyway. Supposedly they leak like a sieve when they're on the ground, though.
They have to.
With the amount of
my-
expansion those plates go through, your fuel's dripping out.
My biggest question for my brother was, why was the Blackbird even on the ground in Grenada? But I don't know. He never answered me. Who knows?
You think by then satellite reconnaissance would have been a lot more efficient, even then.
I don't think they were expecting it because it was like sitting in a hangar. I mean, they probably got the hell out of there as soon as the stuff started with that thing. They don't want that to fall in the wrong hands.
Oh, the Brits had it?
The Americans had it. I forget what I don't even, when was that thing happened in Grenada?
80s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the 80s.
Oh, Grenada's in Spain. I knew that. I thought it was an island. What do I know? Huh?
It's an island. It just belongs to Spain.
Oh, okay. Because my brother was stationed in Spain for quite a few years. Yeah, October 25th through the 29th in 1983. Well, hello. Oh, there's the other guy everybody's always asking about.
Oh, got a bird finally come out.
The little one went up there to his cage and was beating him up, so he come to land on me for protection.
However, that confirms you don't use a green screen because he faded out a little bit too.
I could tell it was him because he was heavier than her when he landed on me.
A lot bigger too.
Yeah, but she beats him up all the time. He's old. He's like 30 years old, this guy. But I can't.
How old do they live?
About 30 years. Yeah, he's not hand trained though. I can't pet him or anything. He wasn't. He was already full grown when I got him. The guy that owned him passed away, and I inherited him.
So that one will bite a hole in your knuckle.
Yeah, only when he's on his cage. When he's off his cage, he's timid. He's kind of
Oh, he don't bother
an
you while he's
albino.
not reaching into his cage.
Right. He's like an albino cockatiel.
Pretty.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he wears a billed hat, because he has bird butt right over his face.
There you go.
That's where you got one of those special rubber covered keyboards.
There you go. No, they're not allowed around my keyboards or my Xbox controllers. I lost 3 of them recently.
Oh God. Yeah, I never thought of that. They eat your controller.
Bites the cord in half. The little one. The PC case is near her cage, and when if I'm not looking, she'll reach down there and grab it and snap the cable right into one bite. Oh, I could kill her. They say she's going through the terrible twos. Birds are like little kids. This old guy, I mean, he's way bigger than her, but she beats his butt.
Oh,
Beats him right up.
he's old and lazy.
Yeah. He doesn't want anything to do with me until she beats him up. Then he's my buddy all of a sudden, though. Funny how that is. He's like, just feed me and leave me the hell alone most of the time. Yeah, I have to guess on his age. I don't really know his true age, but I've had him since my youngest daughter, before she was born, so she's almost 20.
Well, this thing, some of those, like the military macaws, live like 60, 70 years.
Yeah, the bigger the bird, the longer they live. In general. At least in captivity. In the wild, they don't have that long a lifespan.
No, everything tries to eat them in the wild.
Yeah. Yeah, he used to have a partner, but she died already of old age.
I wonder if that affects him at all.
It did. He was super depressed for a long time. I finally got a mirror and put it in there, and it pepped him back up a little bit because he could see its reflection and think it's another bird with him. But now that he's got a real bird to play with, he doesn't like it at all.
Really?
She's mean to him. She goes and bites him all the time.
It's like having an old cat and getting a new kitten in the house. It pesters the hell out of him.
Exactly. She's just trying to play, but he wants to be left alone. Yeah, good times. You guys want to buy a bird? They're cheap, on sale.
How cheap?
How are they with barbecue sauce?
I'll pack it in saran wrap, mail it to you.
It'd probably be dead by the time it got here.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, put them on some dry ice. Toss it in the air fryer.
I like to complain, but I love them. They are a handful to keep care of, though. Constantly got to clean up after them.
You see, I'm gone too often to have a bird.
Yeah, you are. My Lord, you travel a lot.
Yeah, I like it though.
Oh, I'm jealous. I'm not mad.
I wouldn't mind a bird if you could house train it somehow.
It can be done, they say. It's hard, though. Really hard.
What, to train them?
To poop only in their cage? Yeah. I've been working with them. With the little this guy, he's fine. He never leaves his cage. But I've been working with her. It's hard though. I'm getting there. I've got her to talk a little bit already.
It's always funny when you see the birds at the pet store, and they're especially the larger ones that have been there for a while. And I would never want one of those in my house because their vocabulary is almost entirely 4-letter words.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the grandkids come over and like the birds saying "fuck you, fuck you."
Oh yeah. This one here used to curse when I first got him, but I broke him of it. Took me a long time.
Right when it did that.
I mean, it's funny and all as a guy, but when you have people over and they start cussing at them, it's kind of embarrassing. Because they don't tend to just say it once and be done with it. They just over and over and over again, they repeat what they think, you know?
I see Bob just dropped a super chatter. Says greetings, fellow deplorable flying squirrels. Trump 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need Trump in there.
Yep.
Yeah, Biden was complaining today that Trump isn't cooperating or something with him or something. I don't know why he would need to. It's none of his business.
Mm-hmm.
He takes over whenever they say that he takes over. Until then, he's not the guy yet.
No, he just bought his way in there, you know.
Somebody else bought his way in there. But we're not going to get into politics. This is a paramotor chat. Although I don't have a whole lot of new paramotor stuff to share this week. I wish I did.
I don't have a whole lot either. I wish we could have done a live show while Keith and the group were together up there at the beach, but by the time we got back from dinner and then internet issues, it just didn't end up happening.
What kind of warranty? You get a warranty until they die. That's about it.
Oh, they asked you about a warranty on the bird?
Yep.
Guaranteed to fly 10 feet or as far as you can throw it.
Right?
Now all your birds unclipped?
Yes. Well, the little one came clipped from the pet store, but she's growing it. I think she's pretty much got her flight feathers back now. I don't believe in clipping birds' wings.
It only takes a week or two for them to grow back, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not long. First molting and they get them back.
Yeah, you pretty
much some of them get clipped back beyond the cuticle and then they can't ever grow back. And I would never have a bird like that because birds meant to fly. And why the hell?
Right.
You know, it's like cutting your legs off. You know.
Exactly.
Well, some birds aren't meant to fly.
I'm not gonna have a chicken flying around the house.
What birds aren't meant to fly? Penguins?
Ostriches. You ever seen an ostrich try to fly?
Imagine one of those flying over your car.
I've seen a turkey fly over the truck one time.
Oh, we get the wild turkeys all over the place around here.
I always wanted to try wild turkey. Not the liquor.
It's usually pretty good.
Depends where you get it. Some of them, the wild game turkeys are different. Let's put it that way. They're good, but they're different.
I heard
generally if you're hunting, you're drinking wild turkey while trying to shoot a deer.
Traditionally here is Fireball or Hot Damn when you go deer hunting.
Let's go. It's -40 there. Come on.
Yeah, warms you up a little bit. Or root beer schnapps is good on a cold day too.
You gotta carry the 198 proof just so don't freeze while you're out there hunting.
The apple pie Dr. McGillicuddy's.
That is dangerous.
Oh yeah.
That Dr. McGillicuddy's root beer is really good. I've got a bottle of that.
Yeah, and that's dangerous too because it goes down so easy, and then it's like you try to stand up. It's like ooh.
There's a town not far from here that I think it's for like 3 or 4 years. They got their name officially changed in McGillicuddy City, USA. Because
really?
They sold the most McGillicuddy's per capita of any other town, and they won that title.
That's funky.
I think they got some money out of it too.
One of the guys at camp makes this apple pie moonshine, and that stuff, as you'd think it would go down like fire, but it doesn't. It goes down like candy, and then you try to stand up. It's like, oh, there it is.
Yep. I'll be back here in 1 second.
I couldn't imagine somebody drinking apple pie moonshine.
Yeah, we have one of the old guys that always has it on hand, and I brought it out on an occasion a couple of years ago, and we're all sitting on the table, and he brings this bottle out, and it's like, that real moonshine? So, oh yeah. So we put some in a bottle cap, lit it on fire, perfect blue flame. It's like, oh yeah.
Cool.
The stuff, I brought it up, I was going to try it. It's like you get it within like 2.5 feet of your nose, and it's like, oh God, I'm not touching that stuff. No way.
Sounds like Nick's moonshine. Oof. That's some strong stuff. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how people drink that stuff straight. It's like, it'll set your nose hairs on fire, you know?
Oh, yeah. It's all in how you make it, though, Bob. All in how you make it.
I suppose if you age it properly, it wouldn't be bad, but this stuff was like raw, and it smelled like rubbing alcohol. It was oh god, it smelled so strong.
You'll have to try mine someday. See if you like it or not. Nick's always bugging me about giving him some more of mine. Even though he makes his own.
If I had a jug of that, I'd be like, throw some spices in there, some cloves, some nutmeg, some allspice, little apple pie flavoring in there, and there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Then you drop it in. You make basically hot buttered rum, but with moonshine. That is good.
Bob said he wants to do a taste test, Nick. See whose moonshine's better.
Yeah, it'll be a close call. I'm going to have to get 2 or 3 people to vote on this one.
Nick's is the kind that turns your face inside out when you take a drink, and mine's the kind you look at it and say, "Are you sure this has liquor in it?" Until you fall down.
Oh, I got a new one now that it sneaks up on you real quick. You don't notice there's alcohol there, but about your 3rd sip, you look
Homemade?
like gorilla. Oh yeah,
You must be out of mine by now, huh?
I got about half of a quart jar left. Though I have an idea it's going to be used Thursday night.
Well, I better hurry up and make a couple of 30 or 40 gallons.
See, the good thing about that is if it turns out to be a shit batch, you use it as a carburetor cleaner.
What's even funny, the bottle I have sitting in the truck has a green sticker with a 4-digit number on it, and it's not my number.
That's another viewer.
John will have to think for a second. You have a card in your wallet that has that 4-digit number on it.
Oh, okay. Now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I had to pull it out the other day. I'm like, why do I have that number on there? I started thinking, who the hell's that? And I had to go on the site and look. I'm like, yeah, I knew that is now.
Oh, it has my number on it then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Now I know where it came from.
Yeah, it's already been there once.
I'll be darned.
It'll be going back there for New Year's.
I have to leave the number on it then.
Oh, I will.
Have one in my honor there. I bet you the bartender will have one with you. She liked it.
Oh, there'll be like 6 at night. Trust me, we'll all be having it.
I wish there was an easy way to mail you some more. Have a hell of a New Year's. No, I'm gonna try and make.
Dangerous.
I'm gonna try and make at least one fly-in this summer if I can, and I'm gonna bring a pile of it. You think I brought a bunch the last time? That was just a sample. We were at
one of the big fly-ins so that we can just everybody can get trashed every night.
We were at the training, and I gave somebody a sample of my apple pie, and oh, that's good. You got any more? And I was like, hold on, let me look. And I'm just pulling out jars all over the place. Nick's like, holy crap, how much of that stuff you have with you, Ethan? I must have had 2-3 gallons.
If John would have had an accident, it looked like that camper down here in Tennessee last week.
I had it hidden all over my truck. Oh man. And it was pure.
It would have been good.
It was pure.
One spark in that thing, and
197 proof.
Yeah, and you're sitting there with a gas camp stove and a tailgater truck within feet of this highly volatile fluids.
Yeah. Yeah, fooey.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, so you'll like the new camper, John.
I saw pictures.
Coffee maker.
Nice. I saw pictures.
Coffee.
Oh man, you guys see what I got at Walmart? So proud. 2
10
10-packs.
pack.
They're only $10
Oh,
a piece.
2 of them.
Yeah. They were on
Damn.
sale for $10. I love those things.
Sweet.
They're good for when
usually-
you got long drives.
It was at
Awesome.
a motorcycle rally a couple of years back, and stopped at a rest stop that most of the guys were stopping at, and they were just giving those out for free probably as a promotion, so you'd get them later. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, an 8-hour drive or 8-hour ride, that's a nice little pick me up.
Oh yeah, they'll definitely open your eyes.
Well, in February, in the beginning of the month, I think it starts on the 4th, so I'll be leaving here like the 1st. I'm going to drive to Salton Sea, which is 1 day, 10 hours.
I'd love to go to Salton Sea. I promised my mom I'd visit her sometime this summer. So maybe hit one of the ones in Florida. I don't know
Well,
yet.
Swanee's coming up in March.
Boy, I have to save up in a hurry. Yeah.
Or not Swanee, Palm Bay.
I might be able to get my trike ready by then. I couldn't have a backpack by then.
Well, if you promise not to butt land it, I'll let you fly mine.
I can't promise that.
Just bring
bring
4
you-
extra props.
Just bring the seed and I'll just play with that and hang out with you guys.
Well, that's always in the trailer.
Of course, I don't have a
tandem.
I don't have a harness yet. I don't know if I'd trust
I
you
got
for a
harnesses.
tandem. You'd scare me and make me pee
What's the
myself.
worst that could happen?
I should pack
Haven't
up my
crashed
trike and
yet.
bring it with me on a trip, though. I bet if I packed it down small enough, I could get it underneath my tonneau cover. Just don't put any fuel in it. Huh?
Yeah, what do you need fuel for?
Till you get there, yeah. Yeah, I might do that. We'll see. See how the money situation goes. I'm supposed to be getting a $3,000 bonus from work. Make sure my wife didn't
Oh,
hear
that'll
that.
get you part way to a used motor.
They're giving us hazard pay retroactive through the COVID.
That's the
least
one
that's
thing
what
I
I-
miss
That's the
about
rumor.
being self-employed. Back in the day when you're working for companies, you end up getting this nice little Christmas bonus at the end of the year, and I would have had enough to buy something decent with it. But now, you know, when I first started, one of my clients actually did give Christmas bonus to contractors too, which was kind of cool. But that's long since gone under the bridge.
Here's one you'll like, John.
What you got? That looks like,
Beach blade.
I'd say east coast of Florida.
Yeah, you see the wing I got behind me?
No, not
It's
yet.
It's not the K2.
I'm still looking.
Zeno?
Oh, yeah. Is that the east coast of Florida, though?
Yeah, it's Mexico Beach.
Oh, it's west coast then.
Yeah, right by Louisiana almost.
I've been there.
Okay.
It's a new wing tied in with 2D steering and everything.
Panama City Beach is a little bit nicer, but probably not as friendly for flying, though.
I gotta send my wing in soon. Get some beach
We
flying.
were
in this
gonna
spring.
we ended up picking to this one. So we went up there on Wednesday. There was no one there, but it was really windy. We couldn't fly it. This is the one and only flight with that wing with that motor, and then I had the prop explode and had to go back to the other motor.
Ah, gotcha.
Some beautiful, beautiful beaches up there, aren't there?
Oh yeah, this was a great day too.
Looks like it.
So who's the best to send your wing in to get inspected and
Florida.
repaired? Relatively
up at Four
cheaply,
Winds.
but good.
Up in Florida, 4 Winds PPG.
Four
They are
Winds?
they're really good.
That's who I had repair mine the past few times. Put new lines on, and
You remember that lady that was on Paramotor Crazy's channel a while back that did wing repair. I can't remember her name. She was really good. I like her attitude.
Got her card here somewhere.
My lines are in decent shape, but I want to make sure they're all, balanced out with just whatever adjustments they need for length.
Mm-hmm.
And do some stress testing on to make sure there's nothing that I'm gonna regret.
I hear she's really reasonable on her rates and everything.
Yeah, I like she was really good and fast. There's Keith
This
up
time
ahead
of
of me.
year, I don't care about speed so much as cheap and good. Because I got a month or two from taking that thing out again.
Who's been driving
Yeah,
on
sand
around.
up this beach is. Yeah, that's foot dragging. This sand is so nice out here.
Yeah.
And March, April comes around, I want to do some doom flying this year. I want my ring ready for it when I am ready for it.
Craig, there's a lot of you guys, huh?
Yeah, Keith was there. A couple other guys from his group come down.
What time you starting, Nick?
If I can find it here. I should have the one with the engine where I blew the prop out.
Prop buster.
There's nothing to hit up there. That's the thing.
This is it here.
So they pretty cool when you're flying on the beach down there?
It wasn't bad. It was about 75 that day.
I mean the authorities,
Local.
they pretty cool about it?
Oh yeah, they're all waving at you. Everybody at the beach kept coming up asking us, how these
Around
things
here,
work.
most of the beaches in Massachusetts, and at least on the National Seashore, the towns all have rules that they put in place with the paragliders and the paramotor pilots that after April or May through the end of October, you can't fly. October.
Oh,
No
that
flying
kinda
in the
sucks.
summer.
Yeah, you can fly all you want in the cold weather, but they don't want you flying around when there's any possibility of tourism.
Well, the thing is, you can fly. You just can't take off and land there. They can't stop you from flying.
Well, yeah, this is true, but this dune flying there is the best.
Keith out there pulling sats over the water.
These beaches, you gotta understand, we got like anywhere from 100-foot dune up to like 500-foot dune, and laminar wind coming off the water, and yeah.
That was one saving grace you'll see in a minute when I blew the prop. The wind was coming off the water in an angle. And I was yanking it hard. I was banking around when it did it. The only thing I can figure is that the thing was loose and I didn't know it, and the G-force knocked it
Tweaked it.
loose.
What, your prop bolts let go?
Right there. You see the vibration. No, the freaking starter come loose of the motor. Went right through the prop.
Ouch.
And of course I'm hitting the kill button and it ain't working.
But you got your kill wire with it.
Yep, the kill wire attached to the bottom of the motor right where the starter was at, and when it sheared that bolt off and that starter off, it took it all. I had to walk, a mile or so up the beach.
Damn.
Oops.
It's a blast to fly though.
Yep. Someday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Bob, you get good enough, you can launch off the back of your truck.
I can land on the back of one.
Bob's gonna be the highwayman. You guys remember that TV show
Oh yeah.
with the Knight Rider semi truck?
Ooh, cool. Gonna have to look that up.
I think it was called the Highwayman, wasn't it?
I think, yeah.
Man, that was cheesy back in the day. Yeah.
A lot of those shows were.
One of my favorite old cheesy shows back in the day, and this is going way, way back, and it was really dumb. It was coming right on the tail end when Tron was out and everything else. It was a show called Automan, and it was so bad, but it was great because it was so bad, you know. But it's like almost like a video game character come to life, and used to make these right angle turns, and whoever's sitting in the car, of course, gets thrown sideways, and it was the gag, you know. It was a dumb show, but it was a hoot.
Now you talk about going to bad apples there, John.
Who, me?
I'll show you what you can. Yeah. That's why it's one you got to come up to. Here's the field.
That's Hodges Field, right?
Yep. It's all that golf course grass. It's like walking on a sponge.
Sweet.
They have RV hookups
Andersonville.
everywhere. Yeah, Andersonville.
I'm just trying to find it on a map.
Perfect wind out there.
I look like dead flat out there.
Oh, it is.
Oh, it's up in North Georgia.
Yep. And they got your
no.
favorite thing to run into.
No, it's south of Atlanta.
See right ahead of me. There's your landing zone, John. Right to the left in front of me.
I can handle it. I'll just whittle myself a new prop as I come in. I'm getting that good.
There you go.
Whenever you can see in the field from that pond all over, it's all that bent grass, that whole heart-shaped thing.
That's not very far from my hometown, to be honest with you.
You can make yourself a prop duplicator pretty cheaply.
Yeah. Yeah, just a straight shot south to get to Tallahassee where my mom lives.
You gotta come down for it.
I'd have to start making moonshine now in order to get it ready in time.
We'll start brewing tomorrow.
I could. Go to Walmart and have them tease me again when I buy 500 pounds of sugar.
Well, what you do is you go in there every day and buy like 20 or 30 pounds.
Yeah, I buy
Huh?
those big bags from Walmart when I go.
Just tell your wife's baking a bunch of cookies. What are they gonna
Yes,
say?
I usually tell them we're having a bake sale.
What you gotta do is find a bakery supply company that'll sell you cheap.
Mm-hmm. Well, believe it or not, there's sugar factories like everywhere around here. We make most of the sugar for the United States right here.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Make it out of sugar beets.
They don't use. I thought they use sugar cane for that.
They do, but sugar beets are cheaper and easier to grow and process.
Wonder what the difference is between that and the regular cane sugar.
They say there's no difference, but I can tell the difference.
I actually like the beet sugar brews.
And man, do they stink. Oh my God.
They got these big spraying apparatuses out ahead of me. See it in the center of the field there, John?
Mm-hmm.
Where that brown spot is, a big arm goes clear out to the green trees out there.
Oh yeah, it's our circular, what do you call that? Irrigation thing.
Yeah, it just runs around the field. You can from here you can see like the lines in the field where it run around in circles.
Mm-hmm. We have those a lot up here.
All over
They're
the
pretty cool.
country.
I want to be up there in the summer when it's actually running, go fly down around it. Yeah, you don't see them up this side of Ohio. Down there, you see them everywhere. As you can tell, I have a lot of videos I need to edit and get ready to put up online.
And one of the channels I like, he does one of his things is Brian Fitzgerald. He calls himself the Sky Server, and his shtick, he loves skimming along at 10, 20 feet above the ground in his ultralight, all over the place, and he does those. A lot of the fields where he goes is sorghum and everything else, and he's got the whatever they call those, the irrigation things that goes around in circles. You see those all the time down there, plus pump jacks and everything else. I like his stuff because he was actually a professional broadcaster for a while, so his video editing is ridiculous. It's really good. He's got like 10 cameras on his ultralight, so you get like these 360s and 720s and everything else. Outstanding. Buys a Quicksilver Sport or something like that.
Probably an MX2.
Apparently, North Dakota and Minnesota, the area where they grow them, they produce 3 billion pounds of sugar every year. That's a lot of sugar.
Cool.
That is a lot.
3,000 farmers are in the cooperative, and they have approximately 500,000 acres of land that they farm.
Holy,
Yeah.
that is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if they're doing all of it.
That's where you buy your sugar, most of your sugar from.
How much of it goes to ethanol?
I don't know. We have some ethanol plants too here. I don't know if they'd bother making it into sugar first. They'd probably just process the whole, like corn and stuff into ethanol. You would think sugar beets would be the ultimate ethanol producing plant too, though.
Way
Never
too
even
water
thought of that.
intensive, though.
I suppose, yeah.
Well, it can't be much worse than corn. Corn is very water intensive.
Yeah, I don't know how you can not. everybody uses corn. Except for John, he likes to use wheat.
Oh, for my stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I don't use wheat either.
I thought you did.
Well, I have in the past, but the one that I like the most is made out of oats.
Or okay, oats, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's just such a smooth liquor when you get done.
You see their windsock up the left there? A clip-wing ultralight on a pole.
I love it.
That'll work.
Yeah, and they have the, looks to be like a Rotex motor in the front of it, an old 4-cylinder, an old Continental, but the prop's on a bearing so it spins in the wind. So you can pretty much tell if the prop's spinning, it's good to be flying.
A real old Bowser light up there.
Oh yeah, look on the pole right, the front right corner of the building here.
I saw it, but can't really tell what it is.
It was a kit plane that someone built, and I guess it didn't fly too well, so they cut the wings back and put it up on the pole.
Sure,
If it
why
doesn't
not?
fly good, you take it apart, you take the wings off, you use a fuselage, put a 6-cylinder engine in there, and take it on the road.
Hey, can you fish in that pond, Nick?
I don't know if you can fish in that pond or not, or if there's fish in it.
Hmm.
Well, that's why I was trying to launch a Keat swing. That didn't go over too well.
Oh, well, everybody's there, huh?
Oh yeah, it was a big group.
One of these days, I'm going to make it to one of those, and it's going to be really weird talking to everybody in person that I talk to on all these things. You're walking up and say, "Hey, how you doing?" You're meeting an old friend, and you've never actually met them in person. It'd be kind of cool.
Yep.
It's actually addicting when you go hang with a group. You get to know everybody.
Yep, they're working on turning them into ethanol.
Are they?
Yeah, they said focusing on beet ethanol makes sense for a number of reasons. Their figures show that beets produce twice as much ethanol per acre as corn and require about 40% less water per gallon of ethanol produced.
Really?
Yeah.
And the water thing surprises me because beets are very, juicy.
Yeah. Sugar beets are like size of basketballs. They're weird looking plants. They're not edible, I don't think.
I'll give you a little treat. I get to play here. This was the cross country we did while we were up there at that field. And it was kind of cool because we did a synchronized takeoff. Which is harder to do than you think. And I can tell you with the Dudek wing with the 80cc motor, it's a little bit of a run.
Dead calm wind there, it looks like, too, because of your run out.
Yeah, there was wind, but it wasn't. If I'd have been on the 130, it'd been 2 steps and up. But
Just looking at that pond, it's glass.
oh, there was wind. The pond sets down below the level a little bit. There was at least about 6-7 mile wind. I can't get that wing up without about 6.
Which wing is this?
That's the Dudek Nucleon WRC. It takes a little bit of power to get it up, or a little bit of wind.
Smoke going?
Oh yeah. I was having fun laying smoke down and flying back through it and watching the wingtip vortices as you went through it. Like I set a new first for myself on this flight too. I tried to reach back and reset my strobe because I forgot to turn it on. Ended up killing the motor in mid-flight. I had to restart it. First time I had to restart in the air. And it is not a fun thing to do. If I can find it here. They had a really neat aircraft graveyard out here too. A bunch of the old egg tractors. Familiar with those? There was like 7 or 8 of them out in the field right beside the airport that they were parting out.
You know what a cool video would be to someone to do? Go down to your local municipal airport, get permission from the manager to set up a fog machine and wait until just some small GA aircraft takes off. Wait until he's airborne, out of the way, and then fire off the smoke machine and show how much turbulence is left behind after these things take off. Just as kind of a FYI to pilots, paramotor pilots who are flying out of airports.
I could probably make that happen.
I think people would be surprised. I mean, I've seen. I'm an airport junkie, so I hang around airports all the time, even when I'm not flying. So you'd see on a light foggy morning, you'd see the turbulence spreading across and downwind for several minutes after takeoff.
This is their regional airport, as they call it out here. I think it's more crop dusters than anything. But that building up right ahead of me on to the right there is actually a school for aviation. I flew over, they had a bunch of older aircraft and helicopters out there all tore apart. Look at all the crop dusters out here.
Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys have balls. You got to admit that.
And some of them have mad skills too.
Oh yeah.
You have to.
This whole field was full of these crop dusters. There's a couple of halls laying there beside the building. If you look up between these two buildings, there's like, there's the crop dusters. There's like 8 of them back in here, right ahead of me. Just some of them have half the wings taken off and motors are out of them. Yeah, for some reason, most of the crop dusters are biplanes. Most of the ag tractors, the ag cats you see out there are biplane configuration, had the old radials in them, and most of them now have been updated with turboprops.
Cool.
Turboprop seems overkill for crop dusting, but I guess the efficiency.
When we were at Virginia, there was 2 of them there. One with a 9-cylinder radial, and one with a turboprop. And let me tell you, that radial would struggle to get off the ground. That turboprop would rock it up. And they were dropping seed, reseeding a field. And it was like
you can't beat the sound though. The sound of the old 9-cylinder radials, I love that sound.
Oh yeah, and the prop barking as he took off.
Uh-huh.
I put a few videos up when we were there on my YouTube channel. The guys taking off and landing and coming in, getting seed put back in them. This is such a unique field to see that many of them.
I wish we had back in the day. I wish we had video phones back in the day when I was doing A&P training, because I would have had videos left and right of doing engine rebuilds and everything else. But that first time firing up the old 9-cylinder radial after doing a complete overhaul on the thing, and the thing barking and choking and making all the racket that I usually do. But that first thing the thing kicks over is like, I wish I had a video of that back in the day.
I've got a small 5-cylinder radio I built. That one of these days I think I can make a video of firing it up. The 1/8 scale model of one of the full
All of
size.
ours were old, many generation rebuilds, school engines, and mine had a full flame job on the thing. It was a riot. And it's amazing. You're probably in the same era that I was going, maybe a little bit later than I was, and going through A&P training, but we practically bathed in MEK, and we had practically hot and cold flowing engine cleaner coming out of the tap.
Oh yeah, when you work around those things, they're dirty engines. Not to mention, when you tear one down, you can have one already torn up and cleaned up. You touch it, you become instantly covered in oil and grease.
Other than turbines, I think doing the old radio was one of my favorite parts of the thing. The whole course back in the day. I mean, doing a Continental or a little 4-cylinder engine is one thing, but those
There's
old
some of the
radios.
history sitting down here. This place is just full of old aircraft. I wish you could have got lower on it. You got some better shots.
You guys have to do the radios back in AP when you were doing yours,
Oh, yeah.
Nick?
Oh yeah. And I know radials pretty well. That's why I was able to build a scale replica of one. They're actually, when you look at them, they're a very simple engine. Single crank.
Well, they're simple engines, but the guy who originally designed the geometry of those engines had to have been a freaking genius,
Next time I get down there, I want to
very,
drive over
very
to that
first
school.
time we had to hand prop the things. The very first hand prop we did, at least in my class, the first one I did was on the radio. We hand prop. After that, we did we did a Continental and a something else. I forget what we did, but doing that, the old radio was the hairiest one because the engine is so huge, and even no matter what you do, even if you got the mains off, these are students we're talking about that need to rebuild on this thing. So when you're doing it through cold, the first few prop to get it primed, there's always a chance it'll kick.
Oh yeah. The only way you know you ain't going to is take every spark plug wire off. What gets me, this whole aviation school, the whole campus, there's aircraft lining it everywhere. They got an old bomber sitting out there in the front.
It's a little better than a setup I did when I went for my private. We just at a local municipal airport, and the ground school was in a building so old, some of the floors were actually slanted.
It's slanted for drainage or just sinking?
Oh, just old and sinking. And we had I think at the time they had a fleet of like 6 to 8 152s as the training aircraft. A couple of the guys did it on, they had a couple Pipers because they wanted to do low wings, but most of the guys did it on the 152s back then, which I'm glad that the newer aircraft for modern day student pilots are much wider, because I can imagine the average American nowadays trying to fit 2 abreast in a 152 would not go well.
Yeah, I've been in a 152. They're not bad.
But you can imagine 2 250-pound people.
Oh, you ain't
the
gonna get them in
152.
there.
No,
You ain't
you're
gonna
not.
get them in there. And get the door closed.
Well, they're hard enough to keep closed as it is. Even when you're flying the damn things, they pop open on you.
Oh, I thought that was part of the thing of having a Cessna, the automatic opening doors.
Oh yeah. Lightest bit of frame twist, pop, door goes open. Had that on takeoff once.
Once, I don't think I've ever flown in one, at least the 152, that the door ain't popped open when I did some kind of maneuver.
Mine popped out at 500 feet on climb out. It was a non-incident because you just, you get up that, you just keep climbing a little bit higher and you basically you're, throttle, yoke, lock throttle, yoke, slam door, back. Got very proficient at that.
You get very efficient just holding on the yoke. One hand goes over, grabs the door, pulls it shut. You go right back to the throttle. You don't even think of it.
And the thing is, the first time it happened, my instructor kind of had the slightly panicked look on his face because I don't know why he's been teaching these things. It must have happened to him before, but I didn't even flinch. It's just like, okay, lock, slam, block, unlock, bang, done.
Yeah, you don't even think about it. I mean, I don't know, I've flown so many different aircraft. Cessna have always been one that I think that's just like an inherent trait. I'm not sure about the new ones, but I've never been in one that the door didn't pop open doing some kind of maneuver. I'd almost like to fly one of the brand new ones just to see if there's any better craftsmanship in the cabin as far as things flexing.
A friend of mine did his. He went for a sport pilot, and he did it on the Skycatcher, whatever that is, 182, 162.
Yeah, 182.
And he did that, and it's much wider. It's got basically touchscreen everything now. And
yeah, they're all glass cockpit
the
now.
quality is absolutely horrendous because most of them were assembled in China.
Really?
Well, that's why they basically went out the window, because most of the flight schools got rid of them because they were getting parts for them was a pain in the ass.
Why would they get stuff assembled in China? I mean, come on, it's aviation.
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, they had a few quirks that could have easily be fixed with a slight design change. I don't know why they made these design decisions to begin with, but the nose wheel steering was odd. Apparently, I've never flown myself, but apparently the nose wheel steering was a little weird. And I mean, they're robust little planes. They were great for flight schools, but the problem was they priced themselves out of the market.
Yeah, they're new ones. What, almost $1 million now?
And a lot of the schools, they got rid of their 152s and took on the Skycatchers because they thought they'd be saving some money because they're running 912 Rotex, and the fuel efficiency was outstanding. That was the one good thing about those things, that they were fuel efficient as all hell compared to a 152. But they were just so expensive. They never really, the overhead for maintenance and the initial cost just wasn't worth it in the long run.
Now, the one up here, there's a flight school up in Indiana I looked at last summer when I was up there working, and they have, it's some Cessnas. They had, I can't remember the other brand they were using, Cirrus.
Oh, I have never flown a Cirrus. I want to though.
They're nice. I had a little time in SR-22, and I really like them. But they had one I'd love to fly. They have the diesel engines in them. And the nice thing with doing the diesels, they're running jet fuel rather than avgas, which is more available. Pretty much any airport you go to has jet fuel now. With the fuel burn on them, is so much better.
That's bullshit. Sorry. I just realized the FAA just approved drones to fly over people and at night. But yet we can't.
Yeah, that'll be happening
Probably
soon.
commercial drones, all right.
It says small drones, and it says it's to enable a step towards broader deliveries.
Yeah, they're talking about Amazon and shit like that. For drones, not your local idiot that got his went up to Best Buy and bought a drone.
Right.
I got my landing on here or not? I kept staying high.
I always thought personally that anybody who flies ultralights, fixed wing ultralights, their flight time, you should be able to log your flight time and then have it signed off from an instructor saying, yes, you have these skills and it should be applicable to your, private. But they'll never do that.
Yeah, they should. I mean, flight's flight, especially with a fixed wing ultralight. That's
Well, if you're doing a 3-axis, you're not doing like an old 2-axis Quicksilver or something. That's one thing. But if you're doing a 3-axis ultralight, there's no difference at all.
Yeah, it's the same flight dynamics as a full plane.
I've seen some Cubs that fly slower than some ultralights.
Yeah, if you do a Cub with the right size wings, they fly super, super slow.
Oh, you're right. A small Cub, they are basically ultralights, really.
I'd love to do a carbon Cub, but good Lord, the price of those things.
Yeah, carbon Cub, you can, was it like $250,000 for one of those?
Yeah.
But you can go out and buy a used Cessna for like $7,000,
Depending on what it needs. You can pick up a 152 or a 150 dirt cheap right now. They're starting to go up again because guys are realizing they're in light sport category. The guys are buying them for that now.
I didn't realize the 152 qualified.
I'm not about at 150. 150 does.
150 definitely, but 152 I'm not sure. I think the weight might be off on a 152 though. Never done a 150. That's the smallest I've gone as a 152. I've done 152s. I've done Piper Cherokee. I've done the 172, 182, and the Tomahawk ones. Tomahawk's a blast. No. What I'd love to do is the what the hell's the name of it? The one in the front end rear prop, the Cessna. The
oh, I've flown them. I can't remember what they call them now.
I love that plane. I'd love to fly one of them.
There's a lot of weird things you have to know about that plane though. Like you have to have both engines running for takeoff, and more power in the front than the rear. You can overheat the rear engine.
Wouldn't be surprised airflow.
Yeah,
but
it's
a cool plane though. I love that plane.
Yeah, the tail boom, and I want to say it's a Comanche, but it's not. That's not what it is. I know I had one for years.
Yeah, I think what the Skymaster.
Okay, yeah. And they made them in two configurations. They made retractable and non-retractable. There's a good shot of a little ultralight up on the pole. You definitely can't mistake which way to come in with the wind there, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Does the whole thing pivot?
Oh yeah, it's on a bearing. And it's very reactive to the wind. You'll watch it sit there and just back and forth from time to time.
Clever idea. I like it.
Right airfield by me's got a small fiberglass kit plane, a little bigger than that one, mounted on a pole, about 4 foot off the ground, that they use as a windsock like that. Problem is, right now it's laying on the ground because it had a bad storm a year or so ago and it lifted up off the bearing and they never put it back on it.
Still want to build an ultralight one of these days. My my kit of choice is the Thunder Gull. I love that little plane. Unfortunately, they've gone up to like 25 grand for a full kit nowadays, which is
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's just getting to be ridiculous what they want for some of the kits. So I can't say much. I've been looking at that Mosquito. You seen it?
Yeah, I never priced one out, but I wouldn't mind trying one. I mean, I've never wanted to fly a helicopter, but what the hell?
I've got a lot of helicopter experience in it. The fact they make it in a turbine really appeals to me. You get the sound of a real helicopter.
Wouldn't mind doing a like a gyroplane or something. That'd be a hoot because you still have the. I mean, the whole thing is an auto rotation, so you're really not worried about engine out so much.
Yeah, an engine out's really a non-event unless you're over trees.
Yeah, I actually first time I saw a gyroplane, I think was the first time I said, "Oh, I want to fly one of those." It was back one of those old Mad Max movies back in the day.
That was probably an old Benson. That's a fun place to fly out there.
So it was all the same field.
Yeah, that's all where Hodges Field's at. Can't wait to go back and fly it again.
Looks like we got 20 watching right now.
Not bad. Look here, 13th to the 16th of May is Bad Apple's event, so I'll be going out to that one.
I may have to set some time away to do one of the ones down that is local to me. The Pennsylvania one is pretty local. I can hit that in like 4 or 5 hours. That's not too bad. So might have to do it. Anything East Coast I can probably pull off, but not until I do some maintenance on my vehicle. I gotta do a timing belt swap for the damn thing. It's a pain in the ass. I may just send it to the garage, which I never ever do, but I don't want to deal with it.
Why not?
I've done so many timing belts over the years. It's just like you get to be a point. It's like you know what? The hassle and the pain in the ass. This would be the first one I've done on this particular car. I mean, my old car that I had, I must have done 4 of them over the years. And that thing, I had like 500,000 miles on that beast before the frame rotted out to the point where it's like, fuck it, because, you know, it's not worth it anymore. With this one, it's like, do I want to do this? You know, and I mean, it wouldn't be a bad job if it wasn't designed the way it was designed. I had, this is the worst vehicle I've ever had to work on in my entire life. It took me, I think it took me 2 days to do an alternator swap on this thing. 2 days. And I've done so many alternator swaps over the years that, you know, it's a no-brainer at this point. But for this one, this is the procedure you had to do with this one. It was basically, you had to jack it up, remove the wheel, break it down all the way to the steering knuckle, take it off. You had to unbolt the steering knuckle, and then you had to lift the engine up enough to make enough room to get the alternator out. And it was a pain in the butt, and it probably would not take me that long now to do it because I know what to do. But I mean, I'm in there before I decided to, you know, go for the official procedure, which was, it's like, no, that's not possible. You don't have to do that to take a damn alternator out. So I'm sitting there with this alternator in my hand and knuckle busting position and trying to pull it out this way and pull it out this way and pull it out that way and drop it out this way and drop it out that way. There's no way to get it out without lifting the engine. In order to lift the engine, you have to disconnect the suspension and the steering knuckle, which is nuts.
Why?
So, and this is why I'm kind of hesitant to do a timing belt on this thing, because what nightmare am I looking at if doing an alternator is that bad?
It's like everything's that bad to do on those cars these days.
I like about the old cars. You had to do any work on that thing. It was a mechanic's car back then. All of the cars were mechanics cars. Any part you had to do, easy in, easy out, no jumping through hoops to do anything. And you could practically stand in the engine bay with the engine in, you know.
Now you can't get your hand in the engine bay
That's
without
the problem.
taking the engine out.
Oh, funny thing. We had some snow last week, and I'm out there helping my son bring his bike around, and so he wouldn't get any tree branches on it. And we put it in the backyard, and I still have my engine hoist out there. And I'm looking at the thing, and there's a bird made its nest inside of the main tube of my engine hoist. So I'm thinking, what the fuck is that? Is there a bird flying into that thing?
Sure, why not?
Well, you know you're gearhead if you have an engine hoist in your backyard to begin with, but
Yeah.
I thought that was normal.
well, it should be.
Yep.
I think we have like a tradition around here. You have to have an engine hoist in the backyard, or an engine hanging from the tree, or at least a chain fall ready.
Oh, and at least one car that doesn't run in your yard. At least one.
Oh, I need to get a dead car then.
I have two technically. One runs fine, but that's my old car that I kept because in case my well, it's not new, it's very, very used. But in case that one shit the bed, all I have to do is do a quick clutch job on it. You know, take me an hour and a half. And I have my wife's old Subaru that still not entirely sure what happened to it because we ended up just getting her something else at the time because we didn't have time to mess with it. but it ended up with this horrendous noise one day. My son took it out without permission and said, "Oh, Dad, the car is making this awful noise, and it is making this noise that almost sounds like there is a bolt loose in the crankshaft, but it still runs, which is the nuts." So I'm thinking it probably, the timing belt, because on that car has 2 timing belts. So I'm thinking one of the timing belts skipped the cog, and it's just, yeah. And Subarus are a pain anyway, because it's the double timing belt set up in that thing. But I kept it. We kept the thing. It's still in the yard, because one of these days, that is the most reliable vehicle. Like, it's my wife's old car, but it was the most reliable vehicle. That thing was a Subaru Outback Sport, and you could practically take that thing on an ice track at a 45-degree angle and still have traction. You know, I love that old beast.
I had the Subaru Brat, if you remember those.
Oh yeah, those are a hoot. I love that little car.
I wish I never got rid of it. You know, I had the little truck bed in the back of it. And
Yep.
the one I'm kind of interested in getting, if I could ever find one over here, and you probably get them out of Canada, would be the Subaru car with a diesel in it.
Cool. You like
I
super cats?
I actually saw on one of the channels. I'm into the EVs. I definitely want to get an EV as my next car, just because, you know.
Just go buy a Prius.
Yeah, fuck that. I want a Tesla, but apparently Subaru is working on their electric finally.
Oh, they're all gonna do it. I mean, you ain't got no. You can't be in the auto industry these days unless you're building an EV vehicle, or at least a hybrid, because everybody else is doing it. Everybody's trying to catch up with Tesla.
I'd take a Model 3 right now, because those little beasts, they have a lot of guts for a small car.
Well, you have to get the Model 3 Track Edition.
Mm.
You can't just get the regular Model 3. You've got to get the Track Edition.
If I was going to spend that much on a Tesla, I'd buy a used Model S.
I get a Model D, 380D with ludicrous mode.
Yeah.
Far more car than the S.
You know what I don't like is the Tesla truck, the Tesla pickup. Yeah, in concept, it's a nice vehicle, but it's butt ugly. I'm sorry.
I want one because it is butt ugly. It's
I
such a
love
unique
it.
vehicle.
It's just, yeah, that vehicle screams me.
Yeah, you pull with that thing into a fly-in, pulling a trailer.
I want to know how one of those would pull a fifth wheel, because of the way the angle of the sides. They would have to have some kind of a weird hitch in the bed to get it over the lip of the side panels.
Yeah, but side panels aren't that high, really, when you think about it. You wouldn't be able to go the full 90 jackknife like you do with a fifth wheel, but I think you'd be able to pull it through most turns without a problem.
Yep.
I still like the when they did the reveal of the thing, and Elon's out there with a freaking whatever the size ball bearing he had in his hands. Like, this thing is like, and throws it out the window and it smashes. It's like, okay, well, let's try this again. It smashes another window.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
oops.
like, I think they planned
that
that
was
though. I think
good.
that was done just to, really hype it up. Because that made a stir when he did that.
Now that reveal event, I enjoyed it because it was fun. Because they on that same, I think that was the same one they brought out the Tesla tractor.
Yeah.
But they also, at the end of the thing, they pulled the sneaky reveal of the Roadster 2. That is the car I want. Tesla Roadster 2. And for the
Here's
price,
the question. If you get one, you buying the SpaceX edition or you buying the regular?
Oh, I don't know. If I had the cash, I'd buy the SpaceX edition just because.
Well, it's got cold gas thrusters in it.
Yeah, supposedly. I'm not sure how they do that exactly, but he's never given actual details about it, but if you could have hover mode on your freaking Roadster, it's like, yeah, I'm doing it.
Oh yeah. Where we're going.
And nothing else,
we don't
pulling up
need
and that at a fly-in and kicking on the cold gas thrusters and just like, you know, lifting. I don't know how high it's supposedly it can lift off the ground. I don't know how that works exactly. I from what I understand, most of it is to assist in high G turns if you're doing track days or something, but it apparently can actually lift off the ground, that's nuts.
Yeah, I don't know how sure I want it lifted off the ground.
It probably just lifts it up like a foot or two, but I can't. But it's probably the equivalent of, I don't know what you would call ground effect in a car, but you know, he's never kind of gone into detail about it. He's just given just enough of a little intriguing tidbits that's like, I want to see this thing. You end up getting, you get a mental image of the DeLorean from Back to the Future when they, you know.
Yup.
What are you gonna? I don't know why you want to lift it up. I'd want cold gas just pointing out of the back so I get more thrust forward.
I can't imagine it would give you a hell of a lot more thrust forward, but if you had it positioned right and they were computer controlled, you'd basically have a car that if you're driving around here in the winter, you hit black ice, cold gas thrusters kick in, and you're still riding on rails. That would be valuable.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be kind of neat.
And my wife's over here. Don't talk black ice, because she had an old Olds 88, hit black ice, and had two options: telephone pole or tree. She chose the tree.
I didn't choose the tree.
Well, yeah, she said she didn't choose the tree, but trees don't move. Poles do. She broke her face.
Hey, some poles don't move either.
They move better than a oak tree that's 6 foot in diameter.
Oh yeah.
And to this day, we still drive down that road. She's like, "Oh, that's my tree."
Cool.
Funny thing is, that Olds 88 was a boat, and my wife had this habit of naming her vehicles, and she always named them after tragic characters. She had the 88 was named Lucy after the Lusitania because it was a boat, but don't name it after the Lusitania. The other one, the Subaru, that is still in our yard, that whatever happened to it, it's Bonnie Blue, that from Gone with the Wind. You know, the little girl who died on the horse, or off of the horse.
Aww.
Like, don't name your cars after tragic things. Just, you know.
Yeah, it seems like a bad idea.
But to be honest, the 88 named Lucy was probably very appropriate, because naming that Lusitania was very appropriate. The thing was a massive beast of a car.
Sounds like the 98.
Yeah, her current car she calls Posy. POS.
I like it.
It's an old Mitsubishi. What is it?
Mitsubishi
Eclipse.
Well, I remember those.
It's a nice car. It's a piece of shit at this point, but I mean, I get the engine purrs like a kitten.
Yeah, the
but
engine-
it needs a lot of work, and it's
the
one of those
engine
things.
Works, nothing else does.
It's one of those things, you know, your family vehicles are the last things that get done, you know. Yeah, it needs to put a new heater core in it. I gotta replace the headlights. She's like headlight. She's saying window because the driver's side window, the mechanism. I actually bought the mechanism. I have to put it in.
There you go.
But she loves the sound of the thing because that thing, it sounds like it's turbocharged, even if it's not. It just sounds like. Yeah, that's the one we bought and dropped it. It was like I forget how many miles like the car had on it originally. It was probably like, I don't know, 180,000, and dropped a engine that was in a rear end wreck that the engine only had 20,000 miles on it. So the engine is, well, she's probably put 60,000 on it since then, but for all practical purposes, the engine's new. The frame and the rest of the vehicle, not so much.
I just have to think about the Mitsubishis.
20,000 miles on it. So the engine is, well, she's probably put 60,000 on it since then, but for all practical purposes, the engine's new. Frame and the rest of the vehicle, not so much. Well, at least it still runs. And it's great, and it's probably got 260,000 miles on it now. So I think we got our money's worth out of it.
So you've been beating the crap out of it, basically.
She doesn't drive as I do. She calls me she says like I drive like an old man, and she's the kind of girl who'll like floor it at the bottom of a hill that goes over a bridge to get you a little air. It is.
What's wrong with that? You don't like airtime?
Oh, I love it if it's somebody else's car.
Yes, I think every rental car I've ever had, had more airtime than my Paramotor.
Oh, a friend of mine, one of the people we hang out in the summer at the campground, they ended up as a birthday gift rented one of those high-end sports cars. Oh, it was a McLaren. That's what I rented for his birthday. It's like, oh, birthday present of all time.
Yeah.
I think it would probably cost more to rent a McLaren than it would cost to buy both of our cars that are out there right now.
You'd actually be surprised.
Well, I looked at it once. We have a place nearby here that does sports car rentals, and we're talking like $1,500 a day type of stuff. So I can't imagine what a McLaren would cost you. Well, insurance alone is probably half the cost of your rental.
Yep.
But if I had a car that I wanted to drive of somebody I know, one of my clients has a Audi what is it, i8 A8. The thing has a 12-cylinder engine in the back, all glass, so the entire engine's visible. And when that thing is running, first of all, you can hear it 5 miles down the road, which is great. But the sound of that engine, oh.
That good? What's that guy's got the V12, isn't it?
Yeah, and a big one too. Oh my God, that sound.
What will you do? I mean, what will you do with a McLaren if you had it though? Like, they're not sensible for daily drivers. They're fun to go out and rip around on.
Get a real big speeding ticket while you're parked.
Well, yeah, they kind of, the look of those vehicles, they look like they're going fast in a parking lot, and you're guaranteed to get a speeding ticket in those things. It's like buying a bright, cherry red sports car. You're going to get a speeding ticket. You buy a blue one, you're not as likely to get a ticket on it, But it's just the. I don't want to own one unless I had like one of the megabucks, something like that. But even then, I'm not sure I would. But it's just to drive one just to say you did.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be fun to drive, but I don't know if I'd want to like own one. Just, I don't know what I'd do with it. Well, I can't say much. I got a Porsche 924 sitting up the hangar that I never do anything with either.
Yep.
Mainly because I restored it back to factory and just want to keep it like pristine shape. So I drive enough. I drive enough every year just to put mileage on it.
This one client of mine though, he's the kind of guy he's a car nut. He has like a Bentley sports car in flat black of all things, which is I can't stand it. But he's got that thing. He's got the Audi, which is that thing's insane. And he had this will give you some insight into the income this guy must have. He bought a ticket on the Virgin Galactic for when they actually do take passengers.
Yeah, they haven't even done that yet, have they?
No, but he bought a ticket. He bought an advance ticket on the thing. And it's like, that's like $250,000 for a ticket for a suborbital flight. It's like, yep.
It's something that might never happen.
This is, yeah.
I mean, do you think they're ever going to do that?
I think they probably will. They're getting close. I'm pretty positive they will do that. The amount of people that will partake in that kind of experience in the early days is tiny. If they ever get to be the point of being like a first class plane ticket, yeah, why not? If they get to the point where those are strange engines. They're basically burning rubber.
Yep.
As a fuel, which is kind of bizarre.
Really?
Yeah. They're really strange engines, and they come in at like a badminton birdie with a folding wing, so they come in so the re-entry is an absolute no-brainer for those things. So they're not dealing with all the things that SpaceX deals with with their having to touch down on their butt with landing legs. They just come in like a badminton birdie. When they're down to a reasonable speed, they straighten back up and fly in like a glider. So, but the engines, if you've ever seen one launch, they are the dirtiest looking exhaust plume coming out of those things.
Yep.
But if I had to drive one of my clients' cars, is the R8, definitely. That thing's a beast. This guy has the Audi R8. That's the one with the 12-cylinder beast of an engine. He's got like 2 Teslas. He's got the R8. He's got his the other one, the one that I'm having a brain fart on right now. The Bentley. The Bentley's actually not a bad car. It's ugly as hell because of the paint job. Who wants a flat black Bentley sports car? It's cool looking if it was some other color, but yeah, that's me.
Yeah, black's like, I don't know.
Not black, but flat black. It's just ugh. I don't like it. I want a car that's painted like my grill out back. I'll, not be a Bentley.
What do you think of the doing the wraps on the cars?
I actually like it. I mean, it's a relatively inexpensive way to change the color of your car. And you get it protects your existing paint job, and if it gets damaged, just peel it off, put a new one on. Plus, if you're lucky enough to get a sponsored vehicle with a wrap, that'll pay for your car.
Cool.
That would be a way to do it, I think.
Well, my son was looking for that. There's a couple companies that actually do that, and at the time he was in college, so he was kind of the prime candidate class that they were looking for. They didn't end up picking him for it, but it would basically pick whatever car he wanted to buy. They would wrap it with their company logos, and you have to drive around in it for, I don't know what the term was for it, but I mean, the amount of money that they get for driving around with their company logo on your vehicle would have paid for the car. It's like, that's perfect, but never worked out, but still, you can get it.
Yeah, I wonder what it costs to do that though.
I don't know. I mean, it's basically they pay for you basically whatever car you have, you get into the program, and they pay for everything. They pay for having their company logo wrap put on your car, and they pay you for driving around on it with the thing on there. And I'm not sure. I forget what the rates were, but it basically would have paid for almost any vehicle he wanted to do it on. But the waiting list was so long, it just never worked out for him. But it would be a cool deal.
Sounds good to me. Wish I could get that.
A wrap on a truck would be a much bigger deal.
Yeah.
We actually have 21 people still watching it. Well, at least here, 11:34 at night. It's not bad.
Cool.
I'm kind of back and forth. Like, I thought of doing a vehicle and having it wrapped again. At least with that, you can get whatever, buy whatever dealer has and then get whatever color you want, wrap put on it.
So did we lose Prop Buster?
Well, even if you're doing a clear wrap, some of those, I mean, you can get it done relatively cheaply, and your car looks brand new basically forever, because if the wrap gets damaged, you just replace it, and your actual paint job still shows through the clear wrap.
You said clear wrap? I wonder how that works.
Well, basically, it's just it basically takes the place of like a clear coat, but it's a completely transparent wrap. And I mean, usually they do it not over the entire vehicle, but on like anywhere that rocks would kick up. But you can get the whole car wrapped that way too.
Oh, it's like, I'm trying to think that's they have in Florida, I think. They put it on the like on the rockers down behind the tires. I know it's a lot of cars down here have like a clear sticker over them.
Basically, yeah. I mean, it's like back in the day when they used to put the bras on the sports cars to protect the front ends.
I have one. I actually have one of those bras for my truck. I never did put it on though. I need to one day.
But the wraps actually do a good job, especially if you're in a place that is up north where they heavily salt the roads. That protects the paint a lot. I mean, to be honest, a lot of the damage you get from around here isn't your actual painted surfaces, is your underbody, but still, it looks nice.
Yeah, it gets me. I've got that auxiliary fuel tank in my truck that's been in there 5 or 6 months now. In the rain, it's got some scrapes on the side where the paint was off. Yeah, just like a light little bit of rust. Never really noticed it, even on this last trip.
Yeah, up here the road salt is so bad. I had my previous car that I had to replace the straps on the fuel tank after probably, I think it hit right around 10-year mark, because they had rusted out to the point where one of them snapped completely, and it was, my tank would have dropped if it wasn't for the way they had the brake lines run in that vehicle. It was actually resting on the brake lines.
Well, this is a 100-gallon auxiliary in my bed, but had almost no rust on it whatsoever. I've been home for 4 days now. I looked at it today. That thing looks like it's been sitting out rusting at the Salton Sea for 15 years. I can't believe.
Put like a rhino coat on it.
Yeah, I got to do something with it. I mean, I've seen scrapes on it this summer. I'm thinking it might get a little rust, but it never started rusting, leaving any stain marks. I looked at it today, and I'm like, holy crap! There's just like rust stains down the side of it. Looks like it's been rusting for 15 years. And it's like, because I park right beside the road up here, and they spray the road with that liquid car melter. That stuff gets sprayed off everybody's tires up on the road onto that tank and just started rusting it, which is ridiculous. I think if I had to repaint it, the state should pay for that.
Yeah, we have so much road salt on here. No matter what you got, most cars, the average life expectancy of a trade-in around here is like 3 to 5 years because of that. And I mean, not me. I basically drive mine until it's not cost effective to repair it anymore. So, I'll have I think the lowest mileage car I ever had was 250,000 miles, and the only reason I retire them is because the frame starts disintegrating on me. Funny thing is, though, the last car I had was a classic case of planned obsolescence. I'm up under there doing, I think it was probably when I was doing my timing belt the first time on that thing. I'm under the car, because with this particular car, the way you had to do it, you had to rotate the crankshaft, and there was an alignment pin you had to insert from the undersides. You had to actually pull off the exhaust manifold, I think it was, to get the pin in, which was crazy. It wasn't a big deal, but it was a pain in the ass. But underneath the car, in a perfect grid pattern, there was these quarter-sized spots on the underbody that were rusting. The rest of them, they did it was anodized or whatever they did to it, but it was perfect. But these quarter-sized spots on the underbody were rusting. So it's like they had to have designed the thing to rust out. Which is disgusting in itself. It's like, if you're going to design a vehicle, design it to last. Don't design it to wear out. But
no, not these days. They want stuff to just rot out, and you got to buy a new one.
If you were underneath your car and you're looking at the entire underbody had the professional coating done when it was new, and it was all anodized and everything else, and for the most part the underbody was pristine, but in an actual literal grid pattern up and down in a 4x4 section, I think it was like every 6 inches or so, perfectly round spots the size of a quarter. Rust, all the way down in like a 6-inch grid. It's like, yep, that was planned. They did that on purpose.
Probably they purposely make the steel in such a way that it rusts.
Well, that could be too. I don't know if you remember back in the day, back in the 70s, my dad had a car, an old, what the hell was it? I think it was a Ford Granada, something like that. It was a Ford anyway. And they were notorious for, they anodized the steel, but the paint, the process, whatever process they used to paint the thing, every single one of them, the hood paint would peel off in sheets after a certain amount of time.
Planned obsolescence.
Well, that was actually, you looked at a lot of the, GM had it and Chrysler had that problem on certain vehicles. And that was actually when they were starting to go to water-based paint, but still using the chemical oil-based clear coats. And after about 8 to 10 years, the clear coat would start to just pop off with the paint. And they finally learned that you can't do that combination.
Well, these things were ridiculous because they would all, every single one of them, it was the hood especially, the roof would always do it. But they I think for like two or three model years, Fords were notorious for that. They were always bad. They would literally peel down to the steel. And you could tell it was anodized steel, and that was the problem. It was the paint they were using wasn't sticking to the anodized steel for whatever reason. It may have been water-based paint. I don't know what it was, but it went away. But for those couple model years, every single Ford in the road over 2 or 3 years old.
That's exactly what it was. That was their paint problem they had. And Chrysler had it real bad for like a 10-year stint that they were doing it. And they tried to act like it was no big deal. And it's like, really? Your paint's coming off your vehicles. I think all these companies, try different methods. It's like you don't want to buy a vehicle brand new when they first come out. The first year they come out, because you're just guaranteed there's gonna be problems with it.
The RVs nowadays the same way. I like used because it's been all the problems that you would have already been fixed. A friend of mine bought a brand new 2019 really nice RV. It was a travel trailer. It was like, I don't know, 36 foot something. And they had so many problems. They had like buckled wall panels, the DVD player that was in, had its combo DVD, CD, everything player. And to eject the thing, you actually had to stick a knife in there, like a butter knife, to get it to eject. It's like, come on, quality control, people. But I would never buy a brand new RV, ever.
No, I think they're ridiculous what they charge for them.
My fifth wheel, it's like a 2000, 2004, 2006. The thing's built like a tank. And I got it for like stupid cheap. I think we got it for like $6,000. And all the problems that it could have possibly had have already been, handled. And I mean, other than, less roof time that, every RV, 12 years, 14 years down the road, you're going to get a place to move anyway. But other than that, I mean, they don't build them that way anymore. They just don't.
No, not what you pay for them. I can tell you that. I think You know, you pay $70,000, $80,000 for an RV, you should be getting something that's not falling apart.
Well, even the old Winnebago in the driveway, I mean, it's got issues because, you know, it's a 99, but engine still runs perfect. It's the fiberglass roof, which is, you know, a forever roof. Why they went to rubber roofs on RVs, I'll never know, because they're shit.
Well, they used to be metal roofs back in the day.
We had one with a metal roof. Have you ever tried to sleep in an RV with a metal roof in a rainstorm? It sounds like someone's up there dropping bags of ping pong balls in your roof. So the rubber roofs, they insulate sound a little better, but fiberglass, I mean, that old beast out there, to this day, it's been sitting and driven, and it probably has several 100,000 miles on it, and the roof's still original roof, and it's not a drip gets through it.
Never had a problem with it yet.
Not a lick. I mean, it's got issues. Last year we had the plow guy came in and apparently cracked the windshield. We didn't notice it until spring. Once the snow pile melted enough, pushed the snow pile right up, and it must have been a rock or something in the snow pile. Cracked that. It's got a broken strut. It has an auto leveling system, but one of the struts is bent because my dad pulled out of a campsite and forgot to pull the struts in. So, oops.
Yeah, what always gets me is people pull out of campsites with a damn antenna up.
Yeah. That's just a silly one, though, because we have a checklist that we go through on ours. It's like, follow it to the letter every time, because if you don't, you're going to forget something. Our old beast. The only thing we have to do on ours this year is I'm gonna replace all the slide out seals, because they're getting old to the point where if sometimes when you're pulling them in, they'll stick a little bit, and I powder them and do everything else you're supposed to do to them, but every once in a while they'll stick if it's been left like for 2 or 3 months, and it'll pull off the rail, so I have to go around and pop it back in again. So I'm gonna get a whole new seal for the whole thing, and I'm gonna do my roof again this year too. Found this stuff they call it's actually made for it, but it's called liquid roof, and you can buy it in little quart size for small repairs, but you can buy it in 5-gallon drums. And for my size, it would take 2.5, so basically 3 5-gallon drums to do the whole roof and the slides and the whole works, and it basically gives you another 15 years of roof. It's basically a brand new roof without having to rip your roof off and do it.
Oh, just a brush on rubber roof, basically?
Basically, you pour it on, you squeegee it out or roll it out. Either one, squeegee's easier. And you put it on a nice thick layer, and it's basically turns your roof into a brand new roof again. Plus the smaller cans, I always keep 2 or 3 of the smaller cans in case you get some stupid squirrel up there. Or in our case, we have trees. And you're not as diligent as you maybe should be over the season, and leaves build up on the roof, and you should go up and blow it off, but you don't, and then a woodpecker gets up there pecking at bugs in the leaves and pokes a hole in your rubber roof. It's like, go up there with a can, with a paintbrush or a roller, and it's good as new.
So my new one's got the rubber roof on it.
Yeah, I despise rubber roofs. They're good for noise dampening, and that's it. Other than that, you've got at best 12 years. Usually they're warranted for 10 to 12 years, and you can probably get away with 2 or 3 more years after that. But it's just it's planned obsolescence is what it is.
Well, I'm sorry, what you pay for an RV, I wouldn't want to have to replace anything.
No. Well, especially nowadays, because excuse me, if you're doing like transitory visits to a site, get traveling and pull into an RV campground or something like that, it's not a big deal. But if you are long-term camping anywhere, most of the places nowadays, if you have RV that's old for 10 years old, they won't have you. It's kind of nuts.
Really? That's pretty bad, though. They're gonna limit you to only being so old. That's almost discrimination, really.
It is. It really is. But it is what it is. Those are the places. Most of those are the ones that you're paying like $6,000 a season, which is, forget these people.
Yeah, what you pay to be in one of those places. Good Lord.
Especially if it's like you're paying $6,000 for you to park your thing. I don't care what it looks like. They should let you do it. This is $6,000 for the site, and then you pay electric and water on top of it.
Oh, you have to pay for your hookups on top of that.
Yeah, most of those kind of places, for long terms, you're metered on your electric. And I mean, the water is included most of the time, but you're metered on your electric.
So you're still paying, yeah, you're paying $6,000 plus. Now you're paying for all your electric.
Which, if you're like most people, you're trying to save propane by running your electric heaters in there,
Mm-hmm.
Well, like ours is a co-op, so we have very low rates, but you have to work to help maintain the camp.
Oh yeah, you actually work there, don't you?
I mean, it's minimal, I mean, I do the pool. I help do the pool, and everybody twice a year we have cleanups to get the leaves and the branches and all the crap out at the beginning and the end of season, things like that. Overall, it's not a big deal, but for the amount of money you save, it's a huge deal. I pay less a season there than most people pay for 1 month of an apartment.
How much work do you have to do though?
For the average member there, very little when you get right down to it. There's basically 2 cleanups one cleanup that's mandatory that everybody has to participate in the spring. And then everybody is expected to be on a committee. Maybe it's you help do the flowers, or you do this or you do that. Little small things, and you have to do. You have to man the gatehouse twice a year. Things like that. It's pitiful amount of things you have to really do. But there are a lot of co-ops like that around the country, and it's a great way to save some cash if you want to do long-term camping.
Now, how's that work as far as they use short term up there?
Well, there's ordinary rentals, and if you're pulling into the place to just rent a site for a week or a weekend or even a month, you're just renting. You don't have to do anything to it. So it's only members that participate in that.
Okay, so if I come up there to visit, I could actually park the paracamper there and.
Oh yeah, and it's cheap too. It's like $35 a night type of deal,
That wouldn't be bad at all. Because you need to do the flying up that way, and I'll come up.
Well, you know what kind of campground it is, though.
Yeah, I know what kind of campground it is. Well, I think wear a paramotor. I don't care.
Yeah, wearing a harness like that would be a little interesting.
You haven't. I haven't released a video yet, but I have one. I'm going to release something crazy I did.
Gotta watch where you buckle your harness, because you have some dangly bits there. one of these days I'm hoping that somebody will put together a fly-in up here. I was actually talking to Johnson Q for a while about getting some actual official training, but he spends so much time in Florida these days now with aviator that's, because he had a great deal. He did basically it was he had this option to do a piecemeal, so you can pay by the hour or whatever, and it's like his rates were great, but you had to travel where he was flying that day. So one day he may be in New Hampshire, one day he may be in Connecticut, one day he may be in Massachusetts somewhere, but he has some great deals. But now he's in Florida all the time.
So not, really can't go for you to go train there. It'd be almost impossible.
Well, the place that I'm not sure if he owns it or co-owns it or just works for them, but the Paramotor training school is still here. It's just that I was talking to him personally, and I was talking to him basically on a reference from Eric at Aviators. I was looking for because he was an affiliate, or is, I guess. So they actually went on the Aviator syllabus.
So he's running the same syllabus they're running in.
Basically, he does a combination of Aviator and the official syllabus for what everybody else does, but he follows the Aviator syllabus very closely.
The USPPA.
Yeah, so he did a combination of the two, but as you know, he's spends a lot of time at Aviator. I'm not sure if he's an official instructor down there at this point, but I talked to Eric over months at a time. I'm always talking to Eric for something, but at some point he's like, "Hey Eric, is there anybody up here that I can talk to that is Aviator affiliated?" Oh yeah, talk to Johnson. So I talked to him, just popped him up on Messenger and started talking to him and getting some rates and everything else. And it was the middle of winter time, so I never actually got to do it, but one of these days. I mean, at this point, to be honest, the only reason I want to do it is to get my actual real rating, because otherwise, I mean, around here, some of the best flying sites, like one of the big ones is Plymouth, Mass, and there's a lot of good sites down there, but you have to actually be a member, Paragliding Association member first, then a member of their club in order to fly their sites, which is kind of crazy. And you have to actually have a PPG 2 to fly there, or PG 2, I guess.
Yeah, I remember it was different, PG versus PPG.
Most of the ones that they do at the club is that they're paragliders mostly. They do a little beach and dune flying, which is most of the sites they have there. But I mean, as long as you have a rating, P2 or PPG2, then you can apply for membership in their club, and you can get a guest, flying privileges if you have at least a PPG2.
Well, okay, so as long as you have I wonder, like, I have PPG2, I wonder if they'd let me transfer over.
They probably would, but I'm not sure what their rates. I forget what their rates for guest pilots are, but you have to have an active membership and a PPG2, an actual, booster membership. But other than that, I think you can. I mean, if you're flying under an instructor that's a member there, they can, they do things differently. But if you want to fly there as a pilot, you actually have to have at least a PPG2, be an active member, booster member, and they have guest arrangements that you can. I don't know what the hell they charge, but it's basically for site maintenance and things like that, because they have great flying sites.
I was saying there's a lot of nice sites to fly. Like when I get out here in February for Salton Sea, I'm gonna get out there and see Robert and hopefully get to experience Blossom.
That'd be they need a PPG 2 there, right?
Yeah,
Blossom?
they do, but he says he's so I can go fly there. So how that works.
Maybe they have a sponsorship program there or something.
I don't know.
Well, I know when Robert started flying there, he had a PPG nothing, and they kind of balled him out for it. But
I think he maybe has enough clout there. He knows someone. I don't know how that'll work, but
maybe they'll have you flying there as a student pilot, even though you're not.
yeah, I'd love to try it.
If I ever get out there, I'm going to have to drop by and just to visit. I'm not going to be flying Blossom. I'm not going to be anywhere near that competence level at that. Well, who knows? That may be at the. I still want to do both. I want to do paragliding and paramotor both because we have some. I mean, I can drive. It's like a 2.5 hour drive to some of the best gliding sites on the planet in New Hampshire. Period. I mean, it's like Blossom, but a lot of pine trees.
And we were talking. Yeah, sure. He asked me, "What do I need to know up there?" He's like, "Learn how to fly." He says, "Learn how to hug a tree."
Well, one of aviators, I'm not sure if it was last week's. They were putting out their weekly videos, and they have been doing their kind of whirlwind around the country trip. And these last two videos they did Massachusetts and New York 2 weeks ago, and they did Massachusetts and New Hampshire this last week, previous week. And perfect overview of what it's like to fly around here. At least in New Hampshire, anyway, because I mean, the soaring sites are ridiculous up there. You'll find hang gliders and paragliders and everything else up there. And some of the most, especially if you go, he got there early. And I'm not sure when he actually got there because he releases videos like a month after he got there. But if he waited around for another month or 3 weeks, and when the foliage is turning, that would have been some of the most unbelievable flying that you can imagine, because you're flying over these like multicolored quilts of foliage, you know.
Well, I just want to get the free flight experience in to see if I like it, you know.
Well, around here, the best way to do that is off the dunes, off beach dune flying. When you get off like a 200-300 foot dune, and you get some good air, it's laminar flow for the most part, and then you can spend all day going up and down, making circuits like Robert's Black Beach up at where he is. What's the name of that one? The one that flies directly over Black's Beach, and they have the whole paragliding association set up with that place, and it's an actual glider port.
I'm trying to think of the name of that. I know he's mentioned it before. There's a couple of them up that way.
Yeah. But they're so organized that basically you have to carry a whistle. So when you're coming in for a landing, you have to, toot the whistle so you let everybody know you're coming in.
Oh, so the guys know when you're coming in, so you don't end up hitting each other.
So we lost Bob. Or he's at least asleep, maybe.
I seen he dropped something. Yeah, he must have gone to sleep. I seen he dropped something in Super Chat on us, so I missed it earlier. He said if Obama and Hillary are both drowning, you only one had time to save one, what kind of sandwich would you make?
Someone posted that on Facebook last year too. Let's see, we got, wow, 20 people still watching.
We're popular tonight. I put the code in. People can join us on here if they want. It's kind of a relaxed night of.
I'm gonna repost that. Maybe we'll get someone dropping in. I'm surprised Casper didn't drop in.
We're on the air live. That's probably why he doesn't. Until I drop it off the live thing, he won't come on. Keep hearing my one radio beep here. I keep looking over trying to figure out what it is.
It's funny, yes. I think it was today or yesterday, I forget which. I'm sitting there doing something. I'm just kind of casually monitoring things. And I thought I had the sound turned down. And I'm listening to this. Every once in a while, every few minutes, I hear a pop or a crackle. And I get this bag of like meat sticks over here, like little sausages, like Slim Jim type things. And it's like, is that crackling? So I'm feeling it's like, am I getting like something blowing out of my case that's heating up the bag and making it crackle? I realized I had the audio turned on and this had random radio static once in a while.
I've got a couple radios sitting here on the burning bench testing, and one just beeps every now and then for I don't know what weird reason. I haven't figured it out yet.
I'm still gonna set me up a nice digital setup. I mean, my old radios, I got my most of the time I just do the 2 meter these days. But I want to get a good digital setup and get at least down to 5, maybe a 10 meter. But I don't really have the. I mean, I have the room for it as far as the antennas and everything go. But I have more fun screwing around with the online 10 meter.
Oh, come on. Come up on 40 meters or 80 meters with us on PSK. Have some real fun.
I am so out of practice on my Morse. I'd have to have a little Morse converter on my system.
Oh, with PSK, you don't use that. PSK is like kind of like text messaging.
Oh,
You're
packet.
back. Well, kind of. It's packet, but it's a lot more error correction to it.
Yeah, I haven't fired up my packet modem, and I don't even know when the last time I fired that thing up was.
Well, the neat thing with PSK, you don't need a packet modem. You're using a sound card of your computer as the modem, and you have an audio passband. So you can be on one frequency. There could be 30 conversations going on because everyone's on a different audio passband. So it's kind of unique. You look at the waterfall and you just tune to one frequency. There'll be 8 or 10 guys talking at one time. You just click on the line and you start decoding it.
One of these days. I mean, I've looked at a couple rigs that there were kits that were like, I think I found one that was like $200 or $300, something like that, which would basically give me every band I could possibly think of, depending on what module I built for it,
Or you could build one I built, like the RT or the SDR I just built. It has all bands, all modes. I think they're about $250 for the kit, but it requires a lot of SMT soldering.
Oh, that's not a big deal. What I do with those is I basically do my. A lot of times I'll cheap out and send my boards in and have them ship it back pre tinned and everything else ready to go. Sometimes I do it myself. I get my etchant bottle over there that I still keep, and I still build my old boards now and again. But for really complex stuff, I'll just send it in and have it built for like $5-10.
No, these boards here, you buy the kit. It comes with all the boards, the enclosure, and some of the components. But then you got to go and source the rest of the components. But you spend a lot of time under a hot air workstation with a microscope, putting components on the board.
Well, the flux I use a liquid flux, and it makes it so much easier because basically you pre-tin the boards. You'll get, I use basically little templates, and you mount the templates, you pre-tin the boards, it balls it up perfectly, and then you put the liquid flux on, the components stick to the flux, and as you heat it, it basically flows it right in, and it sits perfectly on the balls.
I've done ones like that where I've put components on the board and I stick it in the toaster oven.
I've done the regular oven for that.
I got a little toaster oven down here specifically made for that. And smaller boards I can do that. This board here you would not want to do that with. There's just too many components.
And I've got my rework station and my big heavy magnifying goggles. So I'll be all set for that.
I have those. I haven't used the goggles forever. I got the big microscope, 2 eyepieces plus a camera in it, so I can actually put it up on the monitor overhead.
Oh, there you go.
You go in there like 50 to 100 times magnification and throw the solder to it.
So would you say full kit, including sourced parts? What would you think, cost-wise?
About 300, 350.
Oh, that's not bad.
Not for an all-band, all-mode radio that's actually an SDR.
Yeah, that's a lot better than I've been seeing.
I'll tell you, I put it against my my $8,000 Flex radio all the time, and it's damn near as good.
So I cheat occasionally. I have my 2-meter. I built a transcoder so I could transmit on other frequencies, which is it's a hack. But I do 5-meter on my. I have a dual band that does 2-meter and 70 centimeter bands.